Chad, in case you didn't know, these young girls that you're talking about, they had to be taught to be hoes. So you need to go to the house and have a conversation with the mammies, and then you figure out why they love hoes, and they out there sucking D's in the goddamn bathroom. If you want to know why these out there being hoes, they learned it. They learned it from home. Home is your first teacher. We all know this. But go ahead with your question, JR.
I have to disagree with that. Because a woman, it may not be as much of a topic, especially in sheltered families. It may not really be that much of a topic. The mother may behave appropriately, the father may behave respectfully, but when she enters school and she gets around somebody she likes, which typically is how it works with women, when you get around somebody you like, they can lead you to do different things, and it can be seen as, oh, I like this guy, so I'll do what he's asking of me. It's not necessarily because the mother was one, or the father was one. A lot of times the behaviors that we see in children are learned behaviors from outside of the home.
Yeah, but then it's your responsibility as a parent to teach your kids things they're going to expect when they leave the house. So at the end of the day, it's still the parent's responsibility. As a parent, tell your kids, hey, listen, don't listen to social media. Don't hang out with friends who are going to make you do things for the streets. Friends who are going to make you sleep around, and friends who are going to make you use drugs. So at the end of the day, it's still the parent's responsibility. Until that kid becomes an adult, then it's that kid's responsibility once they reach 18.
Yeah, but also you have to be willing to know those type of things are going to go on. And so you got to prepare for it.
Yes.
You have to prepare for everything. You can't just assume your child going to know better. You got to prepare them. Like I had to teach my son how to put on the condom. Now, I wasn't praying and hoping he wouldn't go have premarital sex, but it's a possibility. And so I had to plan and then educate him for that possibility. So no, it starts at home, because mom and daddy, the parents, should have taught them, if they come up on these type of individuals, steer clear. Don't listen to them. And when they find out that their kids are involved with those type of people, they need to have a conversation. Right. These are people are not people who are what we believe in, maybe religiously, maybe morally, whatever it may be. But you also need to educate. You can't just let your child go and pray, hope everything turns out the way you would think it should, because it's not.
So both of y'all are right. Both of y'all are right. It can be learned outside, and you got to educate. So he's saying you got to check it down when they go learn it outside the house. So I think both of y'all are hitting on the same point.
A wife helps a man fulfill his potential.
I disagree, kind of.
Which means a man can be more with a wife than without a wife. Now, a lot of guys don't want to be married because, well, but then I'm stuck with this one person. Yeah, but guess what? They stuck with you too, bro. That stuck thing is a two-way street.
No, that's not the main reason men don't want to get married. The main reason men don't want to get married because they have seen what happens to other men when divorce happens. They've seen what happens to women once they sign the dotted lines of a contract and then the sex is taken away. And then, they use the system against the man. They have seen what happens once they get divorced, and then the woman throws them out of their own house that they had before even the woman came into their life. It's not because they're stuck with one woman.
And by the way, you're better off, like all of us would be better off being in a relationship that we are in covenant with, that we can't just run away from because it's hard. And by the way,
I agree.
If you are going to be married, it is going to be hard sometimes because, number one, you did not marry yourself. In fact, you probably married the opposite of yourself. And opposites attract until they attack.
In your opinion, what should mothers teach daughters first, independence or life skills?
Wife skills.
What should mothers teach the daughters first in life skills?
Wife skills for sure.
Independence or wife skills. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, independence or life skills.
Wife skills. Wife.
Yeah. Wife skill. I'm sorry. I mean, I guess I can agree with, I think, some of the people. I don't know who actually said it, but I agree with both. You definitely got to teach them both. But hopefully the wife skills are more utilized than just the independent skills. Now, I also believe in maybe teaching your daughter to not be independent. Maybe what we consider I don't know,
Like self-sufficient?
not too independent. I mean, yeah, exactly. I don't, because when you teach them that, in my opinion, I'm afraid you're telling your daughter that pretty much you don't need a man.
Facts.
Men are not needed. Men are not. You don't need one at all. You don't need it for nothing. Just you can do everything yourself. And that's and y'all heard me say it before. I don't believe in that. I believe we need each other.
My daughter is 5 years old, and I'm raising her to be a good wife someday. And let me tell you what that means, right? Some people might be like, why would you be teaching a child how to be a wife? Why wouldn't I, right? I'm a wife, and I am her first example, right? I'm her first example, the first person that she looks up to in the home. So her seeing my husband and I interact and seeing how I operate as the woman of the home will only, hopefully, I pray, help guide her into the day that she is able to become someone's wife. Now, what does that mean? How to prepare a child to be a wife. It does not mean you are sitting around looking up men with them, looking up little boys. No, that's not what it means. It's about characteristics, right? Teaching her certain characteristics that a woman should just naturally have, and characteristics that she can have, and strong characteristics that will be beneficial to her long term when she does become a wife. So things like being considerate, teaching her how to be considerate of people's feelings, teaching her how to be confident, right? Teaching her how to be have effective communication, right? Like, how do you communicate your feelings, right? How to also do that without breaking someone down or tearing your partner down. You know what I mean? And what goes hand in hand with that is teaching her how to show kindness even when she's angry. One of the biggest things that we do when we get mad at the people that we love, we will say any and everything. And in a marriage, that can leave a long lasting effect on your marriage, because you can't take back what you said, right? Out of anger. So I want to make sure that she understands how to be as kind as she can of someone's feelings, even when she's upset. And her and I talk all the time about making mistakes, right? Like, things happen, accidents happen. Everyone's not perfect. Like, you don't have to be perfect. So also letting her know that the other people are not perfect, right? We cannot expect your future husband someday to just
That's
be
good.
perfect and not make mistakes,
That's good. But honestly, I believe, and this is my opinion, but I don't think there's a better way of teaching a woman how to be a wife rather than watching the way the mother treats the husband or her father. I don't think there's a better way, because you may tell her, oh yeah, be nice to your future husband, cook for your future husband. But if the daughter doesn't see the mother doing those exact same things for the father, if she's already seeing them fighting, if the mother, because single moms like to think they can also teach their own daughters to be wives. But how is your daughter gonna be a wife if she has never seen you submit to a man? If she has never been you be a good wife to her father? If all she does is see you switch men up and down? If all she sees is you using her father for child support?
So we're not talking about who's going to be her husband, right? But I know that she's watching. She's watching, and she sees how I treat my husband and my characteristics, and I'm seeing how much it rubs off on her in such a beautiful, beautiful way. So I know that if I continue to shape her into being this amazing woman who is considerate, who is honest, who is loving, who knows how to effectively communicate, who is confident, those are some of the many characteristics that are necessary to be a good wife. And I will say this, I did not grow up in a 2-parent household. My mom was never a wife, so she couldn't teach me a lot of these things, right? She couldn't teach me how to be a wife.
See, that's what I just said. It's very hard for women to learn how to be wives if they didn't see their own mother being a wife. The same thing would be said for men. The difference is, the slight difference between men and women who grow up in single parent households is, for some reason, for men, it's innately in us to care about others. So if I get $100,000, the first thing I'm going to do is, who can I share this money with? Usually my family members, if you have a girl, your homeboys, you know what I mean? But for a woman, as soon as she gets some money, don't share the money with anybody, and especially not with a man, especially not with your husband, especially not with your boyfriend. That's what other girlfriends tell her.
You know, a lot of people don't realize that you're not necessarily teaching new things. You're just teaching the fundamentals of being a good person and being a kind and loving person. So I really, really want to make sure that I could, as I said, continue to be an example to her. So that way she knows that, you know, someday when I get old enough and she goes on that journey, she knows that she feels certain that she's able to be a partner, because all those skills, kindness, consideration, loving, effective communication, all those things not only apply when we are just operating in the outside world, but with our spouses.
Hey, look, can I just ask Hank a question?
Yeah,
Do you
go ahead,
feel
ask the question.
Hank, whenever they say independence and wife skill, does it feel like, whenever you answer that question, it's just me maybe, does it feel like they're associating wife skills as a woman who's completely dependent on somebody else? Because I would argue that as a wife, you could still be a wife and have some sort of self-sustainability or stability on your own and still be a wife. But independence, it's like more like I don't want to say extreme, but it seems like you're in a position where you don't have any wife skills, and you're completely you don't need a man on a socioeconomic level or romantic level.
I mean, yeah, it does seem like, and hearing some of these ladies' explanation, for sure, it just solidifies what I'm thinking. Now, I don't know. Maybe don't really feel like, maybe it's just, I know a lot of women probably don't feel like that, but but for the most part, what I'm hearing up here, it make it sound like that. Like what I need a man for. And that's why I made the statement of, yeah, I don't want my daughter to be overly independent and think she don't need a man in her life. Because I don't like that. Like I said, we need each other. That's how I feel. I don't feel like I want to see my child go through whole life, and now I still got to maintain a coverage at the age of 30 or 40 or whatever the case may be, because she don't have a man in her life. And now I got to continue to go over, help her change her tire, do this, or do repairs around the house, when she should have her husband doing these such skills and things.
I mean, even the talk of women claiming they're independent, we know it's all cap. We know it's not true, because no matter how much a woman makes, no matter how much money a woman makes, eventually, if she goes on a date with a man, she wants the man to pay the full bill. If a woman makes $1 million a year and she goes on a date with a man who makes $40,000 a year, she's going to want the man to pay regardless. Now, when they get into a relationship, it may look different, but even then, they may go 50-50, but in her heart of hearts, she wishes the man can pay all the bills so she can make and save her own money.
They're raised to be a wife.
But why isn't a black woman raised that way?
Most black women are raised to be independent.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, let's be real. Most black women are raised to be strong, tough, independent, and don't take no shit. If your daddy wasn't shit, I'll raise you alone by myself.
Yeah.
Be a strong black woman. So they come into the game with their guard up ready. The Spanish girl is raised to serve.
Yeah.
They be cooking for their father at a young age, washing the dishes, washing the table, mopping all Saturday morning. Let's face it, they're raised to serve. If one time I swear to God, I'm at a girl's house having dinner. I got up with my own plate, put it in the garbage, put it in the sink. Her mom spazzed on her in Spanish about da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now, in the black woman's house, if I get up with my own plate, she gonna say, that's a damn good nigga. He got his own shit. I like him, Shirley.
So if I have to come,
Yeah, he listens. The black woman expects her man to actually cook for her and serve her food. And if he dares ask her to cook for him, she's going to call it slavery and control. Or he's controlling. She may not even say it, but let's say they have a family gathering. It's a party. Let's say they're watching football. The friends come over, the girlfriends come over, and, the guys' friends also come over. And the girls' friends see her serving the man. They're going to go back in the group chat. Girl, how dare you make that? How dare you allow that man to make you cook for him and serve everybody? They're going to see that as an issue, because it's very hard to find a woman these days, even if she calls herself traditional. If she has feminist friends, they're always going to interfere in a relationship. But anyway, shout out to Lapif, link down below. Guys, like the video. I appreciate you for joining me today. This was an impromptu live stream, but I said, hey, why not? So like the video as you're coming in. Let's go to the next video real quick. So I appreciate you guys. All right. Like the video, like the video, like the video. Support your boy. Super chat down there if you're down to support your boy. I appreciate it all. Okay, let's go to the next video real quick. Okay.
Could you please expound on that? What do you like? What do you mean by that?
And then, all right, so you purposely seeks a woman because he doesn't want to stand on his own. He doesn't want to provide for himself. So it's easier for him to find a woman that wants to go 50-50 with him to make his life easier. I don't respect that type of man. But the other type of man I respect because at least he has a vision, at least he wants better, and at least he has a desire. So that's what I mean by when I say 50-50.
I did have something to say. The floor open or not, but
yeah,
I think the issue descriptions, right? He's not just saying this is what I do, y'all. You know, so take it or leave it. Like I do a lot of things for my woman that I always tell people, but you don't have to look like this, right? Like you don't have to go here, you don't got to go there, you don't got to do none of that. Just do something like just kind of like make an effort to show her that you appreciate her, and vice versa for your man, right? You don't got to be spending thousands and thousands of dollars to do stuff, right? That's what I say to people because I think that's realistic. But I think when he applies a prescription for other people, like yo, shorty, your nigga gotta give you $150,000 when you have a baby. I think that sounds crazy, and I think like a lot of people disagree with the idea that like most women like are very similar to children, right? But I think this gives that argument legs when you can just say the most blasphemous thing and they come flocking like, oh shit, well yeah, I want to believe in that, so I'm gonna just say how many girls is in his comments? That's crazy to like think that adult women are in those comments like, yeah, hell yeah. Like what? That's what a kid would want to kind of go and run to believe something like that, right? So, and I'm one of them people just like Truth. Like I try not to make people's internet persona to say I don't like them, but I think it's fair if somebody's like, this person is doing harm by the things that they're saying, like to relationships, especially in our community. So I can understand from that perspective if they like, yo, I don't like this person because of the message that they actually are preaching. I don't think that it brings us together. I think it pulls us further apart because it's so unrealistic.
So I want to get back on the 50-50 thing because I feel like we got away from that. And can I hear your explanation one more time? Because I was like listening, but I'm sorry, my mind went somewhere. What is so 50-50 is definitely a no-go for you. And what does that consist of? I just want to be crystal clear.
A guy that requires a woman to provide 50% in a household with bills and things of that nature. A man that does not desire to take care of his family. It's a difference between a man who is working towards something and he's not able to do it just yet versus a man that's not working towards it. And he has this expectation of desiring a woman to do it to take load off of him.
Yeah, but providing 50%, providing any percentage is still taking care of your family. What is she talking about?
Deal with those type of guys.
I have a few questions. 1 second.
Yeah.
How old are you?
38.
38 years old. You have any children?
No.
38, no children. How many men do you have paying your bills right now?
I don't have anyone paying my bills.
Okay. Do you own your home or are you renting?
Rent.
Okay, cool beans. And so let's just say you meet a guy, we kick it off, we vibing, whatever the case may be. At what point of the relationship? Okay, because I guess you wouldn't expect any money from a man towards your bills if you live in two different homes, correct?
Right, exactly.
But if we do decide, right, to combine households, right, like if we do decide to say, well, let's go get a house, right? Would you be opposed to going half on the house or just half on the bills?
Like paying for a house?
Yes.
No, she doesn't want to pay for a house. She doesn't want a parent. She doesn't want to pay mortgage. She just wants to come and live in the man's house. And I honestly believe this is one of the biggest reasons women out here in dating are looking for men who have their own places and especially their own houses. Because she's hoping if she starts dating this man and she's paying her own rent, she can move in and start saving her own rent. Because if she's paying $2,000, maybe $1,500 in rent, and she moves into the guy's house, She's going to be saving. She's going to be making a killing. It's all business. Shout out to CGA. It's all business for them.
Depends on what?
Depends on where I'm at. If I'm ready to purchase a house. It depends on how much the house is. It depends on the man. It just depends on a lot of different things.
Okay, cool. So let me ask you, if you could define, we don't even have to do marriage, but relationship. What is your definition of a relationship?
My definition of a relationship is basically you have your it's a partnership, not hierarchy.
It's a what?
It's a partnership.
Somebody that don't go 50-50 believes in partnership?
Exactly.
Yeah, because a woman, she does not provide financially, she provides in other ways.
Which way?
Which ways are those?
Which ways are those?
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
You don't know what.
Tell me. No,
I mean, you know the ways a man provides. So tell us the way a woman provides. And women say this shit all the time. And I've said it 1,000 times. If you really support Boogie and you watch my channel, you've seen me say this all the time. Find me a woman who has a list of things she expects, because every woman, whether it's their journal, whether it's their phone notes, things like that, they always have a list of things a man should give them. All the women who are dating out here, they have a list of a man should do this, should treat me like this, treat me like a queen, call me, take me out, do ABCD. They never have a list of things they're going to give a man. So what exactly should a woman provide? They know everything a man should provide, yet they're not men.
No, so I'm open to learning. This is why I really want to know.
I mean, I'm not here to convince anybody. I feel like I don't have to explain my value. You know what I mean?
He's asking. We want to be edified. So which ways are those?
For sure. But let me just say this, because I feel like we do this a lot, right? Like we do like a lot of what is the word I'm looking for? I'm not challenging you, right? Like I'm literally calm. I'm just.
I know you're not.
Hear me out though, sweetheart. I'm really just asking a question, and I never can understand how when people are asking the most regular questions, it's like, well, I'm not here to. I just want to know, like, if she's not bringing financial, you say that women bring other things to the table. So I'm just trying to figure out what are these qualities? I want to learn. That's why I'm asking.
Well, it depends on the right type of woman, because every woman is not operating in this energy. So for one, if you're dealing with a divine feminine woman, you're getting her nurturing energy. You're getting, energy that you cannot buy just by being in her presence. She's not only just nurturing and taking care of the household, she's making it into a home. She's if she's the right type of woman, she picks up on your energy. She picks up when something isn't right. Okay. It's a whole bunch of things that this type of woman, I can't describe it because
I got some questions too, man.
We all got some questions.
Yeah.
So let me just, and then I'll let you guys go. We're just conversing back and forth.
I mean, if y'all think that a woman's value is in finances, then it's like, then y'all.
No, we're gonna have a conversation.
No. So I'm just a tad bit confused, right? Because nurturing is free, right? Love is free. Coming into a house, decorating or pouring into or whatever.
And taking on his bullshit.
If you're dealing with a man with a gang of bullshit, that means that your picker is all you pick the bullshit ass man, right? Let's. So this is it, right? Because realistically, and not you, this is not for you, but this is the trouble that we're having in the dating pool right now. You'll literally get women, and once again, not you, but I'll use your age, 38 years old, 40 years old, that are waiting in a sense to be put up and say, I'm a girl, be impressed with me. I'm a girl, be impressed. And if you don't know that me just being a girl and my divine femininity is enough, then I guess I'll wait around forever until that divine, and the chances are likely, I hate to be an opulent 6. You're going to end up with a girl. You're going to end up with a girl.
Can I?
And they are ending up with girls, sharing bills together with the girl. But Tia is right. The whole divine femininity is a bunch of bullshit. They like to say that to escape accountability, but we know they cannot really name anything they're going to do for a man. And they hate the fact that men are waking up, because 20 years ago, a woman would just say, a man should just provide me because I'm a woman. Oh my God, I'm a woman. He's a man. But men are waking up and they're thinking, if I'm going to be paying all your bills, what's the return on investment? And women hate the fact that men are asking those questions.
Can I go?
Let me land, baby. I got you. And you can go. Just let me land this plane. realistically, and I think me and the brother Hank was talking about this the other day, right? Do you know the percentages, like the percentages of finding, right, a black man, right, a financially stable black man, right? This is two, an aesthetically pleasing black man, right? Regularly endowed black man, because there's micro penises out there, right? A protector, a leader, a provider, and a 100% provide, and straight, because that's not so straight, and straight. When we start to name off all of those things, this shit sounds like a unicorn. This shit sounds like a mythical creature. And so to even, the word partnership is the word that we use. Yeah, y'all already know, ladies. And I'm gonna let y'all go and apologize. We talked about partnership. And I always tell people, when you are looking to get in a successful relationship, we have to take finance out of romance. Now, hear me out. Let me be crystal fucking clear with this. Because there's a lot of people that's looking to be a scapegoat. If you date fucking bums, you date fucking bums. This is not a conversation for bums. You need to be an adult. You need to have your own shit. You cannot spell grown without O-W-N. You should have your house. You should have your car. You should have your job. Because without these things, you are not an adult. You are a loser. It just is what it is. Take it up with whoever do you hear the bullshit from. What you'll learn about men with money, or the type of men that a lot of these women think that they want to date, they get into these relationships where they want 100% provision. And the only thing that you have to understand that comes with 100% provision is that if I am providing for you 100%, I don't look at you like an equal. I don't. And there are going to be a lot of women, because there's a lot of women who are getting put up, right? But they don't talk about the downside of how he's paying for your not only silence, but he's paying to do whatever the fuck that it is that he wants to do. And I don't care who you are in life. If I'm always footing the bill, I am eventually going to start treating you like a liability. And if you're new to getting money, or you're new to dealing with people, and you feel like, damn, you don't ever offer, like, just existing ain't enough. But I'm gonna land my plane, and I'll let you guys go.
That's not what I meant, though.
That's what
I didn't say that the woman never does anything.
What
I never
does she
said that.
do?
You asked me about 50-50, and I gave you.
I landed him. Go ahead, baby. No.
Go ahead, Hank. You go
Lila,
first.
there's a lot of convenience in your words, right? You gave the woman in your definition of divine femininity, which you could not define, a lot of liquidity, and you made it subjective based on the woman specifically, right? But when you gave the prescription for the man, it was right and exact, right?
Yeah.
I need you to tell me what divine femininity is.
You said what? Say what you said about the guy that I said about him.
No, I'm asking, what is divine femininity specifically?
So it's like I said, I'm not here to convince y'all.
No answer.
Of what
It's
that
not
is.
convincing. I'm asking for a definition.
Oh my God.
Like I said, it's not. It's
And she's a beautiful black queen, skin glowing. I like the natural hair, she looks like she's beautiful. I know some of you guys may not agree, but I can guarantee you she has plenty of options. So men who want her, but I can also guarantee you the men who want her, who are willing to pay 100% of the bills, all those men are asking the question, apart from your beauty, what else do I get? What's the return on investment for me to work extra 60 hours a week just to invest in you and pay all your bills? What do I get? She has no answer.
energy that I can't really describe. It's a woman that's operating in her purpose. She knows who she is. It's a woman that has a calm nervous system. It's a woman that knows how to empathize. It's a woman that knows how to communicate. She has emotional intelligence.
How does that help a man?
On her energy as well as her man's energy.
I got you. Okay, I understand. It's platitudes, right? That you can't actually realize in examples in real situations, right? It's these things that kind of exist in the fall. Now, when you said her purpose, is her purpose outside of that man?
Absolutely.
What would her purpose consist of outside of a man in what you call the partnership? How do they have independent purposes? See, your prescription, you can't actually apply it, right? And this is an issue, right? Because when a woman comes to you for edification, you can't quite give her a prescription. But for the man, he's lesser than if his woman needs to contribute financially. You see, it's unbalanced.
I mean, I just did. I just gave it to you.
You did.
Well, remember you said, well, I can't really convince you guys.
I mean, because but that's just my way of saying, like, what it feels like is that y'all want me to describe, like, why I feel I'm a divine feminine, and I'm not here to express who I am. You know what I mean?
No,
so
that's not what.
No. We want you to describe how your divine femininity brings value to a man's life. the way you describe things a man should give you that are going to bring value to your life. In other words, he should provide for you. He should pay 100% of the bills. You don't like men who go 50-50. All those things bring value to your life, tangible value. So that means if you get with a man and you've been working 60 hours, you won't have to work 60 hours anymore because you'll be living with a man who's paying all the bills. You don't have to work 60 hours anymore. You can work if you want to, but you don't have to because you got no bills to pay. You're probably going to be under his health insurance. He's probably going to be paying your car insurance because remember, you don't want to pay any bills once you're in a marriage or in a relationship with a man. So please explain to us the so-called divine femininity. How does it help a man when he's paying 100% all your bills?
They're saying that's not what they're saying. What they're saying is that if you were to ask any of us 4, 5 women up here, what is a man or what are the duties and the roles of a man, we'll all be able to give you a pretty concrete, we don't, none of us know each other, but we'll be able to give you a pretty distinct definition of what a man is supposed to do in a marriage and a relationship. Exactly. But whenever it's asked what are women supposed to do in that relationship, it can never be defined. So he's saying
It's
what
a bunch
is
of bullshit.
Okay.
Like men are supposed to protect and provide, provide for the family and all that. What is the distinct duty that a woman is supposed to have? That's what he's asking.
Well, I just gave it to him though.
What?
Yeah.
Even those examples that you gave.
Hold on, Callie, if you don't mind. Yeah, we don't need to belabor it, Lila. It's slightly incoherent, right? And if we wanted somebody to apply it, a lot of the things you said were platitudes, but you can't actually realize them in her actions. It's just like matching his energy and trying to. It's just things that we can't quite. They're not tangible. But I think maybe Ty Kebrion, maybe she wanted to expound on what you were saying. Go ahead, Ty.
So me and you are on that frequency. I see you. I hear you. As a spiritual woman, I can see that's the type of person you're talking about. We're just on different alignments than everybody on the panel. That's okay because I hear you. I know what you're trying to say. There is no such thing as 50-50 in a relationship. And when I grew up I grew up around white people. And I've never once heard my homegirls be like, yeah, me and Luke are going 50-50, girl. We didn't have these conversations. Luke and Emily, they didn't have 50-50.
You know why? Maybe because the white woman submits to a man. Maybe because she respects her man. Maybe because she doesn't think she's unequal to a man. Maybe because there's also tangible value she brings to the man's life. Or maybe because she's not trying to be independent woman in a relationship, the way some black women are trying to be independent, single at the same time in a relationship, getting the marriage benefits from a man.
Had conversations about she's about to have this baby, and when the conversation about money, he sure did give her a little prize. He sure did buy her a new car because her body went through hell to make 2 babies, and she desered that. Because not only did she need a new car to take care of those babies, but he knew she was going to be in charge of more with those children. As in, when you got to call the doctor, she's calling the doctors. He's at work. She's got the doctor's appointment. She's going to the schools. She's doing all the ripping and running. She does a lot more. She also breastfed all of her kids. So he didn't expect those things as well. Yes, they are things you're supposed to do, but you can also show gratitude in your relationship saying, hey, these are things that your body's changing drastically when you have children. I mean, most of us on here have had children. Wait, hang on.
Did y'all get allowances? Wait, hang on. As children, did y'all get allowances for doing shit that you're supposed to do?
No, I'm not a child.
It's an example.
We are
it's a direct one-to-one analogy though. Did y'all get rewarded for doing shit that you were supposed to do?
Yes. Did you not get when my grandpa gave us grades, or if we got an A or a B, he would give us here's $20. Like that's a good right.
There go the problem right there. You're getting rewarded for shit that you're supposed to do, not going above and beyond, but you're getting rewarded for shit that you're supposed to do already.
That's not a problem. If you in your relationship you're cool with getting nothing, then that's fine. But in my
relationship, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. The problem is that y'all are expecting things that a woman is supposed to do regardless of whether or not she works or not. Now, if y'all are willing to live the lifestyle of that said nigga that makes that a certain amount of money and y'all don't want to work, then that's fine. But if you're working and both of you want to live a certain lifestyle, you're going to put in on that shit.
Exactly.
Period.
Man, shout out to Kali. And, the past episodes I've reacted to, she's been on a feminist lineage, but I agree with that today. She is cooking. I agree with that. Nobody deserves anything. First of all, a man doesn't deserve shit. A woman doesn't deserve shit just because you're a woman. You got to put in the work and responsibility and do your duty, and then you can get something of a reward at the end of the day. Secondly, we shouldn't be giving people shit for doing what they're supposed to be doing. A man shouldn't get applauded for protecting in a marriage, in a relationship. That's his job. But the same way a woman shouldn't get applauded for cooking. If both people are doing their jobs and their duties and their responsibilities, that's how it's supposed to be. The reward you get for doing your duty is that the other person is going to do their duty that's going to benefit you.
Was African. Let's start there. Africans have dowries. So in Africa, they do have dowries where you do take them from their father. And with that time, you give them a dowry. And so you're expected to pamper them in that way. So when we're talking that way, you need to talk about culture shifts. We're in America. These types of conversations happen in America. In American culture.
First of all, I hate when people talk about Africa as if it's a whole large community. There are different countries in Africa, number one. There are different tribes in Africa. Also, I don't know if she knows, in some cultures in Africa, a man will give dowry to the woman's parents for marriage. So he may take cows, goats, money, cars, whatever they request from a man to get the daughter for marriage. But this is a big but. If the woman leaves a man, let's say divorce, she doesn't want to do her duty anymore as a wife, do you know what happens? The parents return the dowry to the man. That doesn't happen in America. Here, the man will pay for the marriage, but also he will pay in divorce. In those African tribes, some of them, not all of them, but some cultures that I know, if the woman leaves the man, the parents are going to have to bring back all the cows, all the goats, all the money, all the cars that the man gave to the parents. And that's why the divorce rates are low.
I got a lot
The
to
main
say.
video, the video with the 150, that was
No, he's not African.
right?
He's an American.
It smells like a whole lot of goddamn entitlement right here.
He's not. Hold up. He's not African.
He wasn't African?
He's a black man from New Jersey.
And
He's a black man from New Jersey. They got his tattoos removed, and now he's on a spiritual journey or whatever the case may be.
But that's also something that we did do in Africa was a dowry system when we did that. So it was fine. And so I'm with her on that. There's a 50-50 in a relationship is not something all people talk about. And in the Black community, we can't do 50-50. We have to do 50-50 because in this culture right now, we are losing our jobs at the highest rate. Last year, Black women, 300,000 of us lost our jobs. Black men right behind it. So when we're having these conversations, let's take into account that the reason we're talking 50-50 is actually political in America.
No, it ain't.
You gotta let her land her plane. Are you
Can
done?
I land my plane? No.
Okay, her plane is landed. Callie,
all of this is political.
No, this at the feet of Black people. This is across the fucking board. This is across the fucking board for decades now in America, where 2-income households are necessary if you don't want to fucking live in the goddamn PJs and you want to live a certain lifestyle and provide your kids with a certain kind of lifestyle or whatever like that. That's been the case since at least you can thank Reagan for that shit.
Okay, so it's political.
This has been in effect for at least the last fucking 40 years.
So
Go, Kylie.
Sorry for cussing. I just have a potty mouth, and that's just me. Okay, I'm not.
It is political because Black people have to right now do 50-50. We want to be able to have that traditional life where a man can provide financially and he could do those things, but right now we don't have that.
That's not true. Men still want to be traditional. Women don't want to be traditional. Women want to be modern women, but have traditional men. That's the difference. Women want to be independent in relationships. They want to be single in relationships. They want to keep their job and work and save their money as the man is still working and paying for their bills. So she's lying. Women literally are fighting against being traditional women because they call it slavery. They call the men controlling.
Have that.
White people ain't had that shit neither.
They don't.
When in history have Black men and Black women has the Black man paid all the bills and the woman stay home with the kids? Like how long throughout history has that happened in America?
When has that happened?
I didn't see that.
Been working.
We've always had to work.
Yeah, so the point.
Right. So the 50-50s always had to be a thing based off of that. So we can't go to what traditionally it should look like because we've always been forced into 50-50.
Got you. So this is my question for you, right? And I promise you, like I'm a fair guy. Like I'm just a fair person. I think I am, right? So would it be fair if me and you were about to get into a relationship, I said, how many bodies you got and don't lie to me?
Say what now?
How many bodies do you have? You too, Leah. How many bodies do you have? Do not lie to me. Would that be fair in a relationship?
No, it's not your business.
That's irrelevant.
Okay, because it seems like you guys are creating this value of like this divine feminine thing. You're like, yeah, that's the thing right there. That's what we provide, right? And we never told y'all we wanted that, right? But I know one thing that all the men would say that we want, right? Keep your box in your pants. If you kept your box in your pants, right? Let's say you only
Those
had
them
1 or 2
legs.
bodies, maybe 3, right? Let's say you had that, and y'all told us all that on the panel. We'd be like, yeah, well, give them what they're asking for, right? But you want to tell us what you're going to give us. We're going to give you divine feminine. I'm not taking a shot at you, Ty, but I can have an OnlyFans. I can do threesomes. I can do all this stuff throughout my life, right? And I can tell you, well, I'm feminine now, and it's divine. Take that, you're gonna love it. It's like, give me all your money, and you're gonna love this divine feminine I got. And then you can't even really define it. So I'm just trying to be reasonable. It sounds a little bit crazy to us when you say.
But we wouldn't be aligned. None of this panel would be aligned in that. Like me and her are cool with this conversation because none of us would align. And that's okay.
I don't think you realize
we're more spiritually in tune. And so when a body count doesn't matter, because I know why you're asking about a body count, you're trying to see how many dicks I've taken. When truly, why do you ask about body counts?
Ty,
that's not your
Right.
business.
The thing is that your pussy should be a goddamn novelty. You ain't paying $150 for no goddamn shit that ain't a novelty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then you talking about dowries.
And that's the thing. Good women, bad women, but especially bad women expect good men. I don't know how that works. Now, that could be human nature. That could be delusional. That could be just selfishness. But women who don't even go to church pray to God to give them a good man. That's crazy. Women pray to God to give them a good man, but they never pray to God to make them a good woman to a good man. For some reason, they expect God to just bring a good man so they can mess up his life.
I add to what you were saying, mine.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So yeah, we're not aligned with everyone. So I couldn't define the feminine energy because it's different. It's not one size fit all. So that's why it's difficult for me to define it, because one woman may bring value in this way and another one may bring it in this way. I cannot define it. And all I can go off of who I am and how I've grown and developed. And when it comes to whatever man comes into my life, right? For one, it has to be aligned. Now, what does alignment look for me? I am operating in my purpose and he's operating in his purpose. Do these purposes align together? That's the first start. If you are doing something that's not aligned with what I believe in, my character, my integrity, and the things that I want to do, we already are a mismatch. So that's the first step. And then I'm going to learn you as a person to identify what are the areas that you need the most support in. And that's how I figure out how I give to this person and how I pour into this person. So it's not a one size fit all. That's why I cannot give a straight answer of what does divine feminine looks like, if that makes sense now.
Well, okay, so do you plan on working or do you plan on not working?
We talking about in a marriage, like with a man?
Yeah.
Absolutely, because that's my purpose. I'm living in my purpose.
So wait, so which one? Not working or working?
Like getting a job.
I don't do jobs, career.
Yeah, that's how I want to make sure.
Okay, so you believe that your money is your money and his money is our money?
I never said that. I never said that.
Okay, I'm asking because you feel like 50-50 is like the bare minimum. In what world is your income not part of the household income?
If a man has a home and he's relying on me to come into that home to pay 50% of the bills, that's not an alignment for me.
She didn't answer the question. She didn't answer the question. You see how they go around the question? She didn't answer the question because it was a got you moment. And shout out to Carly, man. I don't know what happened to her this time, but she's a kind of feminist. I've seen her around before, but I can't believe it, man. Shout out to Carly. I gotta give credit where credit is due. But oh my God, this was a very good question. And she didn't answer the question. The truth is, and I've been telling you guys, this is what they want. They still want to keep their jobs in a relationship or a marriage, make their money and save their money as the man slaves away, paying all the bills by himself because she's the woman. And men are saying, no, that's not enough. That's not going to work for me.
That she asked you, please?
All right, look, listen, because we beating the dead horse. Hold up. Listen. Hold up. We've been beating the same horse. We're not here. None of us are trying to fuck her nor date her, respectfully, right? And no offense. I'm not saying you're not humble or none of that. Listen, right? We don't want to make it like her. She believes what she believes. We're not here to change her beliefs. I don't want to feel like we're on the attack. Like there's so much that we can talk about tonight. She doesn't believe in 50-50. It's beneath her. That's not her thing. If she moves into a man's house, is expecting whatever. But what if y'all move into a house together? Would have been my question. I feel like it's too much. Unless where you gonna go? Because the thing that is irritable. I'm just gonna be real. I feel like there's like a lot of people are not hitting the points. You dig what I'm saying? And so when you're just listening to a conversation where points aren't being hit, there's just a lot of meaningless fucking rant. You dig what I'm saying? So that's all. If you got some shit, eat, and then we go ahead and slide. I'm going.
100%. I think we can pivot from this. Just a couple things that were said, right? People do this continuously, and it doesn't make sense. They name Africa as though it's a country, right? There's 54 countries in Africa. Dowry would be the incorrect terminology, right? Because a dowry actually goes from the woman's family to the husband in the couple. You may have been referring to a term called lobola, which is a bride price that the minority of so-called African countries actually have, right? But the overwhelming majority of those people are poor. So these things are very minuscule, you know? But we try to leverage a thing to make a point that is overwhelmingly untrue, right? When you guys continue to say spiritual, what is the baseline for your spirituality? You know, but that we can't even have that conversation because it seems so loose.
I mean, I'm not Christian.
It's a buzzword they use, and it goes together with the zodiac signs. You know, they like to use therapy sometimes. They throw trauma around. What other buzzwords do they use? Free spirit, they use that as well. They use a bunch of buzzwords to really not hold themselves accountable and to be able to do whatever they want to do, but also to be able to change. The same way they use the Bible whenever it benefits them, it's the same way they use those buzzwords, zodiac signs, and a bunch of bullshit.
So that takes me out of the bucket of
Me
believing in the
either. So
Bible. That's the spirit. Like, we're not Christian.
Say the Bible.
Let me say something real quick. Hold up. Let me say, because see, this is also a weird part of the problem is just like how, you know, some of y'all ladies just said on here, a lot of y'all ladies and a lot of ladies do this nowadays where y'all only doing y'all saying a lot of stuff where it's only about convenience. Just like how y'all bringing up parts of the Bible, the Proverbs 31 type woman. Y'all talk about all of these different things. Y'all can't even expound or even give examples of what some of these things actually are. Some females talk about a Proverbs 31 woman. They can't give you the 7 virtues of that Proverbs 31 woman, but because it sounds good, that's what we giving. That's what y'all run with. The young lady, we just gonna say, Ty, sweetheart, you said something that was real kind of crazy earlier, talking about somehow the man bought the woman a car because her body went through so much damage. First of all, that's not even true. He bought the woman a car because they needed a car. It wasn't because your body went through something and all this stuff. You can't sit up there and try to think that a man is supposed to be held some crazy, I guess, accountable for something that God made. Y'all the ones got to have the kid.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other way to
tell me what my situation, my friends, though.
Sweetheart, you literally said that the man bought you because your body went through so much and you went through hell. So here's like token of the gratification of because you went through. That's not what it was. Y'all needed the car. Now you got kids, so that he adjusted to the situation.
Yeah,
that's what a man is supposed to do.
Oh, D-Melly, have you ever heard of a concept of push gift?
Mm-hmm.
So that just in case everybody hasn't heard of it, right? The push gift is like when a woman has a baby, she gets some level of gift. And so conceptually, if we pivot back to what Yada was doing, I think he's saying you pamper her within reason based on scalability. I don't think most men disagree with making sure their woman has a couple gifts here and there or feeling good at certain times, going to a spa, whatever the case is.
I think most men don't have an issue providing. If we're going to be honest, most men don't have an issue providing. In fact, I honestly believe some men do this. Some men are willing to kill. Some men are even willing to steal if it means to provide for the woman they like, the woman they want, but only and only if they see value in that woman. Now, what kind of value? I don't know. But all men are saying, what's the value? Okay, you want me to work 40 years, you know, because sometimes if a man is single, he may be able to save his money and, you know, retire early. But if a man takes on a family, a woman and kids, sometimes kids from another man, you as a man, you must be willing to work for 40, sometimes 50 years to provide for those kids, for another man's kids, through college and shit like that. Sometimes the kids can't even go on their own, so they're going to stay at the house paying mortgage. So retirement is going to be a thing of the past. When, you know, 75 years of retirement, it's going to be a thing of the past, especially if you're a married man, because you have a lot of people to take care of. So men are sitting down before making that final decision of marriage and thinking, am I willing to work for 45 years to take care of this woman and the kids? What do I get in return? Apart from thank you, how is my life going to be better? In fact, I believe that one of the reasons men die faster than women in a marriage is because men slave away longer. The reason married men die faster than even single men is because married men have so much to take care of that they have to slave away and die and work 60 hours, kill themselves on the job, you know. But anyway, shout out to everybody watching. Like the video. Shout out to DJ Hampan. This might be risky. Let's get to the next video. Like the video, man. Shout out to you guys for joining me on this live stream today. I appreciate you. All right, let's go to, what else do I have for you guys? Hold on. All right, here we go with the protection and, you know, women playing victim. They're so independent, got so many degrees, but they're always playing victim for some reason. I don't know why. So let's do that.
Because you referenced Malcolm X earlier. Who did he say is the most disenfranchised, disrespected?
But she was disrespected. See, this is the difference. If you want me to be honest with you, the Black woman was always held up in the Black community, right? The elders, the mother, the grandmother was always held up. If you want to talk about which women were oppressed, it was white women that were oppressed by white men.
Well, but I'm not saying oppression. What I'm saying is that within our own community, there's still a level of patriarchy there. And we can't deny that. I'll give you a perfect example. Our grandparents, well, I don't know about y'all, but our grandparents and how, you know, my grandmothers didn't have credit cards. One of my grandmas didn't work.
The Black man didn't decide that.
Yeah,
that was a system that the white man created. That women. But what I'm telling you is, now let's not confuse the patriarchy with the dynamic of woman and man that God created, because I think that's where the lines are getting blurred.
On purpose, though.
You know, man has a role, woman has a role, and we've gotten to a point that we try to define that as patriarchy, and it's not patriarchy. It is, whether you look in nature, whether it's lions and tigers, whether it's wolves, the male animal has a role, the female has a role. And I'm sorry, once again, like I was telling Alan earlier, I think that when it comes to nature, human beings have become the most disobedient species on this planet, because when it comes to nature and what comes natural and what God designed us to be, we are going left from it. And once again, I'm not saying that women need to sit home and just cook and clean. That's not what I'm saying, because I'm a person that believes that it's a team, right? Men lead, but I also say that although a man leads, his woman is who he follows, right? There is power in submission, so much power. If you truly understand how men work, masculinity is a nurturing force. So this whole idea of toxic masculinity is just weird to me, because what people consider toxic masculinity is actually a lack of masculinity, because men who are not truly masculine overcompensate, you know? So I think we need to be careful of always defining the dynamic between man and man, what God designed us to be, as being the patriarchy, just because we have different roles.
Actually, I'm gonna go on the woman on the women, say that women actually love patriarchy. You know how? Because when the bill comes, when the check comes, they still expect the man to lead. Now, that means they pick and choose when they want the man to lead. They pick and choose when they want patriarchy. So if somebody, you know, attacks a woman on the street and there's a man walking by, we have seen how women scream, these men don't want to protect us anymore. In that moment, she wants the patriarchy. The patriarchy, the man is the leader. He's the protector. In that moment, she wants the man to be the leader. They pick and choose. But men are saying, if you're going to pick and choose when you want me to be a leader, I'm also going to pick and choose when I want to protect you and when I want to provide for you. The days of a man protecting a random woman on the street are gone. Are gone, because, you know, most men lose their life trying to protect a random woman on the street. But women don't like that. So they pick and choose when they want to be equal to a man. And men are saying, no, if you want to be equal, let's be equal all the way through the bills. You know, let's be equal in the relationship. Let's be equal as citizens. Let's be equal everywhere. I don't protect you. You don't protect me. You have no responsibility for me. I have no responsibility for you, because you're independent and strong.
Okay, but we can call it peanut butter and jelly. Like it literally could be called anything, but there is a system. And I think there's a system based on particular norms that are also based on whatever sex, however you're born.
Correct.
That has been how it is.
But that system wasn't created by us Black men, and it wasn't enforced by us Black men. You know, black men, we were powerless, and all we could do was sit in the river. We couldn't change the flow of it. That's the reality. But a lot of times we get the blame for a system that we didn't create.
But the thing is that even if you didn't create it, there's still a perpetuation of it. That's the problem. And I think that we see it every day, and we know people who live it and who have lived it. So I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you, but I think that to not call it patriarchy, because you said it yourself, that it's based on mimicking what white people were doing, right? So we're
yes and no, certain aspects of it, but there are also aspects of it that are just the design that God created, the role for man and the role for woman.
Give me something. Maybe I'm confused. Give me some examples.
Okay, when we say man provides and protects, woman nurtures, right? Not saying that a man can't nurture, but if we go into nature, any animal, you know, the male animals are necessarily who protect, who go out and hunt, but there are exceptions, because nothing in life is an absolute. Nothing in life is an absolute. But if we can say the majority, then we can say generally this is what takes place. So all I'm saying is that, yes, there are injustices, the patriarchy, there's a system that's been created that has oppressed women, but we cannot be so deep rooted and focused on that oppression that we totally ignore the fact that men and women were built differently. And we are two counterparts, right? Where men lack, women are strong, and where women lack, men are strong. And that's why God designed us to be together. You know, the whole idea of I was born alone. It's BS. The truth is you were never alone, because from the time you were conceived, you heard your mother's voice. You felt the warmth of her womb. That's why babies recognize their mother as soon as they're born. At no point were we alone, and we were not designed to be alone. Right. And I totally dislike the fact that we are straying so far away from nature and everything that is real. And that's why I think the universe is out of whack at the moment in time.
They're trying to do it.
Honestly, I think the best way, this is my opinion, if women really want full equality, not picking and choosing, not picking and choosing that they want to be equal from Monday to Thursday, but then from Friday to Sunday, the man should be a leader. I'm talking about full equality throughout. They should stop asking men to protect and provide. That's the only way. Right? So we have two police forces for men and women, and Uber is doing this. I don't know if you guys heard. Uber is made an option where women can request female drivers. That way, if they get in an issue with a female driver, they don't blame men. And I don't care if that's what they want to do, sure. But let's make female cops, male cops separate. If a woman is an issue, even if she's attacked by men, she should call female cops to come to her house to save her. Don't call male cops. Call female cops to come save you from the men. And for the men, if you're attacked by a man or a woman, call male cops. That means we have to make hospitals for women and men. That means we have to separate everything. If women really want full equality, no oppression, governments for men and women, different countries for men and women, and let's see how that works out.
In the church groups, what is the name of, y'all know who it is? Charlie Kirk, was it some of them?
Oh God.
Goodness gracious,
What
that
was
was a bad
it?
example.
Yeah, Turning Point.
Like Charlie.
No, like Turning Point. They're like
That is the patriarchy.
You know what that sounds like?
No,
You know
listen,
what that
in
sounds like?
the state of Texas, it was just approved that they could have a chapter of Turning Point.
Oh, in college.
No, in high school. Like
And what are they going to teach?
Right. That's why I said let's hope they don't.
Because I think that goes right back to the patriarchy.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying, though. But the thing is that they're painting it as it being a natural order.
See, but what I'm talking about is not the Bible. It's not Turning Point. It's not religion. What I'm talking about is the natural design of man and woman. I'm talking about little boys are born and they play with soldiers, and little girls play with dolls because it's naturally what's in them. It wasn't taught. It wasn't taught. And I think that this is what we are totally ignoring.
What do you think, Aaron? You don't think that's true?
No, I think that that's part of nurture. Like your parents, when they bring you home, if you're a boy, you have a blue room, you have blue clothes, they buy you soldiers. You're not going out as a baby purchasing the things that you want. You don't know what the fuck you want.
No, but
so it's like,
yeah, but innately, naturally, there are things we gravitate to because of our DNA, because of who we are, because of our sex chromosomes. There are things we gravitate to as men and women. That's just the natural order.
listen, this is all nurture and it's all based on like how we are in society. So at one point they only had white dolls, right? And so things changed a little bit. Then they start making black dolls. Everything is going to change like the way the society is changing.
I agree with what you're saying, but I also do agree that naturally, if you're a boy, you have to, it kind of has to be forced on you. And I think that a lot of things, like, because people were not probably being raised like in, I don't know, because we're talking about like transgender and the LGBTQ community and stuff like that. And they say a lot of people were touched and, they had experiences that brought them to where they are. But I'm not saying all cases, but I'm just saying a lot of cases. But I think if you're born as a man or a boy or a girl, I feel like naturally you just fall into the place of certain things. And I feel as though, again, like you said, maybe it's part of nurture, but maybe that's what a part of the problem is, because now the higher ups are nurturing our children.
I mean, in life, there's nurture and nature at the same time. But I think what women are trying to do is to only blame nurture. So they want everything manly to go and have only everything female. But we have seen the repercussions of that, especially, let's say, when a single mom raises kids. We have seen the repercussions of that. We have seen that it's not the best way to do things, but they are stuck on doing things only in a female kind of lens, and it's not working out until the bill comes. That's the only time they want the man to come in. But honestly, like I said, if women want everything equal, stop asking men to provide and protect, like fully. Even in a relationship, don't pick and choose. And we are talking about all the way. Stop asking men to provide and protect. That's the only way everything is going to be equal, in my opinion. They literally need to make a law where women shouldn't ask men to be providers and protectors. That's the only way to be equal. What do you guys think? I may be wrong. Anyway, shout out to Ada at the table. Link down below. Let's go to the next video, man. Let's see what we have next for you guys. I had something for you guys here real quick. So I did that. All right, let's go to Ashley. Should we? Yeah, Ashley. So you guys saw the title and the thumbnail. So let's do that video real quick. All right, let's do that. Because we got women out here begging men for relationships, but it's not working. Guys, like the video. I appreciate that. All right, here we go.
I am on because, well, first of all, love you and everything that you're doing for the girls. I'm coming on because I feel like I don't necessarily have problems like attracting men or attracting men that I would be interested in, but it seems like we have fun, we kick it, we date, and then like once it's time to like decide, are we gonna move forward or are we not? There's always like some reason why they're not ready or they don't feel like they could like meet my standards or etc. So
you just said it. I was just about to say it. You said fun, kick it. That's where you lost me. I kick it.
What do you mean?
Fun and kick it means we're just laying out, we're in the house, we're chilling, or we're just chilling.
No. I mean, like we go on dates, like we get to know each other, like, but then once it gets to the point of like moving to like commitment, there's always something.
Okay, so you're dating. Let's go with the very last guy you dated. Y'all were having fun, y'all were kicking it, and then did you cross that line with him? Be honest with me, Amish.
No. So the last guy I was dating, we met. He is from like a different city. So like he came to my city, I went to his city, and then it kind of like
No. He came to your city, you went to his city, and nothing went down? So he flew you out and nothing went down?
No, nothing went down. Like, I mean, we like kissed, but like nothing sexual.
She's lying.
Okay, so I'm assuming you stayed in a hotel.
Yes.
And he didn't come over?
Okay. So you
Why are they saying I'm lying?
Okay, he went to
Yeah, because which man is flying out a woman? It happens sometimes, but usually they don't talk anymore. So maybe that's the reason men don't talk to her anymore, because they like to use men for free dinners and free hotels, and then the men move on.
You went to him, and then what happened?
Like after I got back home, like he was like weird. Like he didn't go ghost, but he kind of like fell back a bit.
Okay. So if you didn't, I'm assuming, since like you said, you guys didn't have sex, so maybe that's all he wanted. And maybe he was like, you know what, this is not for me anymore.
Okay.
If that's what his intentions were, right? Initially, maybe that was his goal. His goal was to get you in a bed. Your goal was to be in a
He claimed to be abstinent. So I don't think that was his goal. Well, he was allegedly abstinent, you know.
Okay, so he was abstinent. Okay, so what happened on the date? What happened with you guys? Where did you go out? What did you do?
We went, when I went to his city, we went to, like, he introduced me to like his parents, etc. We went to like dinner. We went to this party that his friend was throwing. Okay. We went to like this new like place, I guess, that had just opened up in his city.
So you guys went to you met his parents, you went to dinner, you then went to a party. I'm assuming you're drinking at all of these places.
She's going
at the party, yes. I mean, not with his parents, but at dinner, like, yeah, not like drinking heavily, but like, you know, dinner with drinks.
Okay. So then after you went out with the parents, went to dinner, and then went to the party, he took you to the hotel, said bye, I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Okay, and then what did you guys do the next day?
That doesn't make sense.
We went to the gym together, and we went to like this thing that had like igloos or whatever, and like some of his friends came, etc. So yeah, I was there for like a few days.
So men I know it happens sometimes, but are men really out here flying out women, just spending money on them and that's it, spending time with them? Why don't you just have a phone call? And the men really dating across states just to take random women out for no reason?
Okay, so you were at a hotel for a few days. Y'all were going out doing different activities. After you left, he said he was abstinent, so sex was not even a thought.
Right.
Okay, and then you flew back home and you never heard from him again.
So I flew back home. I didn't hear from him like when I first got home, and then he kind of reached out to me like maybe a few days later, and we kind of picked back up talking, but it was not like the same, I guess, energy as before.
Because you didn't let him clap them cheeks. He flew you out, took you out, dinner, you know, you did a bunch of activities. He probably paid for your hotel room. You didn't let him clap cheeks, but you expected him to act as if you guys were, what, you had sex or something? Come on.
Okay, and what did your intuition tell you was the reason why he didn't reach out?
Because you didn't
What did you think initially?
You didn't open the legs.
I mean, initially I was like, maybe he just didn't have a good time and he wasn't interested, but it kind of like didn't make sense based on how everything was going before.
Okay. Well, I
don't know. Like, to me, I was like, he felt like he was giving like maybe avoidance, but I also feel like I run into this a lot, if that makes sense.
no, I don't even like to say this, but since the women use it, it was giving. He spent his money. You didn't open your legs, and he got tired of spending his money. I don't know why women think men are just gonna keep investing and investing. Obviously, it works for women. Oh, I have this guy who's flying me out, but I'm not letting him clap my cheeks, but he keeps spending money on me, and he likes it. Ladies, I don't know if you knew, but men don't want to spend money on you just for the sake of it. He would rather send that money to his mama. But if he's not and he's spending it on you, stop acting clueless that men just enjoy to spend money on women for no reason. Come on, you're an adult.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how is he avoided if you guys spent all this time together, you were around his friends, you met his parents, you stayed together for 5 days straight.
Yes.
And nothing went down. He was even avoiding sexual intimacy.
Yeah, nothing
So
went
something in
down.
the story is just not, I don't know.
Yeah. The story.
That's what I'm trying to figure out too.
It's not making sense. Two things happen. Either, he spent money, he felt like he invested, no return on investment, he didn't get to clap them cheeks, or he clapped them cheeks and he's gone.
No, like I don't know. But I feel like it's not like this hasn't just happened with him. Like not in the sense of like ghosting, yes, but like I feel like I connect with people, and then when it's time to like say like, all right, like let's make this connection like more or less. It's like they're always like, I'm not ready. I can't. I don't know. Like
the only reason that would happen, I would think, is because either you slept with the person or you talk too much. That's all I can think. It is. You told
You might talk too much.
Meaning you.
Or she offers no value, but usually it's because she offers two reasons for men that they ghost women just randomly after spending money. They didn't clap them cheeks, or she offered no value. Because the man will stay with a woman he doesn't really like that after clapping them cheeks. If she offers value, she's nice to hang around, good conversation, things like that. Men will stay around.
Told your whole life story. They know everything there is to know about you, or you slept with them. So they learned everything about you and they got turned off, or you slept with them too early and then they was like, you know what, I'm out of here. I don't know. Or they have a wife, but I'm just saying, cut those things off the table. If you saying this keeps happening, then there's something that you're saying along the way that they're hearing or you're doing, and it's like, this is a turn off. When we're out, she does this. Oh, she's loud. Oh, she said this. Or she sleeps with me too fast. That's what I'm thinking.
That's not true.
Because the fantasy is dying out. That's what that says to me. I'm no longer, you know what? I'm done. Who I thought she was, she ain't. I'm out of here.
Okay. Okay, so how do I like change that, I guess? Like, I don't think I'm unlikable.
Start adding value.
Yeah, right. Talk less, spend less time on dates.
No. Add value to a man's life. Be valuable to a man's life. At least show him you're going to be valuable to his life. But if you're letting a man fly you out, spend money on your hotel, take you out to eat, take you to do a bunch of activities, and you can't even say, hey, listen, let's just hang out, let's just take it easy, you don't have to spend all this money. Even that by itself, most men will see that as value, because most men are used to women not telling them to not overspend on them. Most men know women expect them to overspend, but by simply a woman telling a man, hey, listen, you took me out to dinner, you took me out for drinks, we don't have to do anything else, you've spent too much already for the night. That's by itself separates a woman from other women.
You shouldn't be out on a 5-day vacation. You shouldn't be flying out anywhere if that's not your man or if you're not in the lifestyle. If you're not official yet with that man, you shouldn't be flying out. Or if you're not a lifestyle, meaning you like to go out, you have tricks, sugar daddies, blah, blah, blah. If you don't fit those two categories, you shouldn't be going.
Okay. So then how would I like get to know that person?
Call Mish, book a one-on-one.
Okay.
It was nice to speak to you.
Yeah, they don't offer no value, and then the men are ghosting. But ladies, please, don't you ever think a man is spending money on you because he enjoys spending money. Even the rich men, they spend money because they're trying to impress you to finally get something from you, which means clapping your cheeks. But anyway, shout out to Ashley. That's the video that inspired today's live stream. All right. She's wondering why men are not staying. Okay. Let's go real quick to the next video here. Hold on. Guys, like the video. I appreciate that. Let's go here. All right.
Why does nobody like to talk about what they do for work anymore? Especially when it comes to like the dating arena. On all of the apps, when it says like career or job, the guys always respond with something very vague, like, oh, I got a job, or CEO at CEO, something dumb, something real dumb. Like, what do you do, sir? What do you do to support your big self at your big age?
Why do you want to know?
How do you make money?
You know my wife. You know
Because
my
that is
wife.
very important. I was talking to a fella and I asked, what does he do for work? Does he enjoy work? And he proceeded to give me this long answer. And I should have knew then that he was lying. Okay. He told me that he traded stocks. And he is a caregiver. And, you know, he does flex work with Amazon. So I'm like, okay, cool. What stocks are you trading?
Why do you want to know?
Because I want to
know.
I know what's in my portfolio. What's in yours?
Why do you want to know about my finances?
He then proceeded to say, oh, well, you know, because I was like, the market's crazy right now, right? And he's like, well, you know, it goes up and down. Yeah, the market is crazy. You still didn't answer my question. What are you trading? What's in your portfolio? Because you said it very clearly that you trade stock.
It's none of your business.
So I said, because then he was like, I do small caps. Okay. What's giving you the best return? Are
None
you
of
day
your
trading? What are you
fucking business.
doing?
Oh
Because
my
he's
God.
talking to me as if I don't know about the market. Perhaps, I guess. Also, sir, you're lying. So then he proceeded to say, oh, well, you know, I haven't traded in a couple months. I pulled back from it. So you don't trade stocks. So basically,
She's annoying.
you work for Amazon. You should have just said that, sir. You should have just said you work for Amazon. That's it. That's all. All of this long.
I would have left the debt if I was on a debt with her.
I did hear the smoke detector in her background, but that could have just been my mind playing tricks on me. Aside from that, are more men choosing not to reveal what their jobs are and why?
Because it's none of the woman's business.
And is that an expectation when you start talking to a woman to talk about what you do for them?
Well, I think, you know, most women want to know what you do for a living so they can know the amount of respect to give you, right? So a lot of dudes who don't have high earning jobs or that they think women won't respect, they don't tell them to them right off the bat, all right? And on top of that, I do not think that women should be asking men literally about their financial situation, because if you got your own bag, like what you worried about mine for? Like my bag shouldn't affect you either way. So I just think that shouldn't be a part of the conversation for these independent ass women. Like mind your business. I never met a dude who I went to and be like, hey bro, what you do for work? How much money you make? Because that's his bag and it don't matter to me. So if you got your bag, it shouldn't matter to me.
So what if she want to see how productive he is though?
It's none of our business though.
Why does it matter?
Does he have skill sets? Like there's so many other things she could be asking for outside of how much money.
My
is he making.
productivity not gonna take away from you or make you. Why does it matter?
Because if you can't hold a steady job versus a man who can hold a steady job or has a career, that matters. To some women, that matters.
It don't. Why shouldn't it matter? Like I never, even when my wife was working, I never knew what she worked because her money did not matter to me at all.
Because you're a man.
Yes, and but we
yeah, and you're an independent, strong woman. Unless you're not independent and strong anymore, you're not a boss ass bitch as you all claim to be. What I do for work is for me. All right. If you really care about the money, you'll figure out on depending on the places I'm taking you, depending on how much I'm willing to spend on you on debts. Figure it out then. Until then, if we're not getting married, don't worry about my money.
The man, because we got the bag. So if you say you got the bag, like you got all these degrees, why should my finances or my job interest you at all?
Good point.
Some women don't want to date down.
Listen,
okay. If you don't want to date down, go to LinkedIn, look for those men who have the type of jobs that you want, and send them a message.
Okay, so now you're looking for a come up.
No, some women just don't want to date down. It don't necessarily mean that you will be a come up. She just don't want to date down.
I don't understand this whole dating down shit no more, because if you got your own money, no matter what, I'm down or up, I'm not gonna get into your bag.
Exactly.
It's yours. Why do you need
You're a man.
why do you need me to be on your level or higher to be with you? It seems like you are the person that's asking or that's for the start begging. You need
because at the end of the day, regardless if women are in the workforce or not, we have certain programming in natures that no matter how much we work, nature is going to override that. And you're still going to want to know, is this man going to be secure if y'all are to get together? Does he have a foundation? Can he hold a job? Is he making something to where he's not going to be stressing you out because he's stressed out because he don't make enough money?
It's too much.
Why are you talking about nature right now? I thought women didn't want to be tradition anymore. You are a modern woman, which means you don't follow nature. You don't follow traditions. You make your own money. You can do everything a man can do. So I shouldn't expect your nature to kick in when it comes to the money. You want to be equal with a man? Let's be equal all the way. Don't allow your nature to come in. The same way you don't allow your nature to come in when I ask you to cook and clean and you think it's slavery and control, don't let your nature come in when it comes to providing. Don't let your nature come in when it comes to my money.
So many different things. There were reasons why they could ask.
It's too much plotting around my pockets going on for an independent person for me.
Exactly.
You looking at it like you looking like it's plotting 2K.
What are you talking about independent women though?
It's risk assessment. Everything is a risk. What are you providing? Are you responsible? Are you accountable with your finances? How are you stewarding your money?
What does that have to do with you?
I'm still trying to see how that's going to affect yours.
Just like how it's a part of vetting. Just like you would vet, see if a woman got a good head on her shoulders. You're not gonna date a bulldog.
Y'all gonna ask women what they do for work? Like,
we don't care.
Get it.
Y'all
really not gonna ask a woman what she do for work?
She could come in there with a Burger King shirt on. I wouldn't care, because it's not going to affect my bag either way.
It ain't about the money. What if her job is a stripper? What if her job is just to be a prostitute and sucking peens all day to make some money? It ain't about that. You would want to know because you want to know what does she have going on. You ain't trying to get her bag.
Yeah, but the difference is when a man is asking about if a woman has done sex work, women want men to accept sex workers. But you asking what a man does for a job or how much money he makes, you don't want to accept him if he doesn't make what you think is good for you. That's the difference. You want men to accept every type of work you do, sex work, OnlyFans, all things like that, but you don't want to accept a man because he drives a truck, because he's a plumber. That's the difference.
How are you making your money? That matters. If I'm with a drug dealer,
I was just gonna say that.
I might want to know that, because if I don't know you're a drug dealer and we get busted, I'm not trying to go to jail, you know?
You can't see my hands.
I'm definitely snitching.
You can't see my hands because it's that far on the extreme. Okay? It's a stripper and a drug dealer. I think you know when you talk to a stripper. I think you know when you talk to a drug dealer.
Yeah, right.
Y'all would know.
Yes, we would know.
You could look at anybody
all
and tell what their
look like a
profession is.
hood booger drug dealer. You have some white collar drug dealers.
I can't look at anybody and tell what their profession is, but I know what a stripper look like.
No, because strippers look like all different types of
No,
women.
I
They
know
only
what
look
poor
like strippers
decisions
when they're on the pole or something.
I know what
Like,
poor
how would you
decisions
know?
look like. I know what a poor decision look like.
No, you
It's stereotypical. Bunch of tattoos, long weaves.
No, that's not true.
It's very true. What does a stripper look like if it don't look
I have seen prostitutes that look extremely classy, don't have a tattoo on their body. They're still prostitutes. They still doing sex work. It doesn't have one look. That might be the strippers you look at, but there are so many women who do other
A hole in the wall.
Listen, bro, you can say what you want to.
You got some strip clubs that's not even gonna allow a woman to look like that coming in there.
Just like y'all know when y'all talking to a dope boy, a man know when he talking to a stripper.
I think that is nice to ask questions about people and what they're doing. But I think in that video, that woman sounded a bit
extra.
She was I don't know. She seemed very
aggressive.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
It seemed like, why are you fishing for if he's not telling you directly what you're doing? What you still fishing for?
Just move on. Yeah.
And why are you making a video about it? And it seemed like you was trying to match, like trying to go stock for stock. You know what I'm saying? Trying to have like this fake pissing match with this man. It's like, come on now.
But
if he ain't giving you the answer that you're looking for, how about hang it up?
But you know that's what they say about black women, right? Like y'all are the only race of women that's in competition with y'all men. So maybe you're right.
Oh, that mean y'all
That's
feminine.
It's perspective, and that's not true.
Yeah.
Who compete?
I think as far as our men choosing not to reveal their jobs, I think that it's true. And I think there's, for the most part, probably two different reasons. I think one could be maybe they are a little bit insecure or feeling as though they're not making enough to try to impress the woman that they might be on a date with. So they don't want, like him saying that he worked at Amazon, that was the third thing he mentioned. That's probably his primary job, but he wanted to bring up trading because he felt like it may have made him look a little bit more established financially. So he brought that up first, opposed to saying, I work for Amazon. So I could see her being annoyed with that because it is kind of like misleading a little bit if that's not your primary job. But another reason why a man would not want to reveal what he does for work is probably because he's afraid a woman gonna try to pat his pockets. So he's probably like, you don't need to know that right now. Like, we're on a date. You know what I mean? So
the only way you can have your pockets padded is if you get willingly giving it.
If you keep asking,
what I'm saying is, no, I'm saying trying to, meaning some guys have certain careers or jobs or whatever the case may be where they make a lot of money and they don't want that to be the focal point of why he's on a date with her. He doesn't want her to look at him as a bag opposed to trying to get to know him is what I'm saying. That's what I meant by patting his pockets. So as far as to answer the question, are more men choosing not to? I'm not in the dating field, so I don't know if most men are, but I think those could be two reasons why they would.
Also, if women don't want men, the only way, if women want men to reveal their jobs and their bank accounts, because some women do ask for their bank accounts, for a man's bank account, balance on debts and shit like that. If women are going to keep doing that, then they should be okay with men asking their body counts. Because we know men and women are looking for different things when it comes to dating. So women, it's okay. If you want to know what a man makes, you should be okay with a man knowing your body count. Now, we know you're going to lie, but at least a man's bank account is going to be what it is if he reveals it. We know you're going to lie, but you shouldn't be offended if a man asks how many bodies you have.
You know what's crazy? I don't think it's just men that is hiding what they do for a living. I think it's women too. I think a lot of people don't want to reveal what they do for a living because it comes from places of judgment. You know what I'm saying? People have, once people know what you're doing, then everything else like kind of sets apart after that. So now it just becomes like you said, a focal point, like about what they do. And you don't, some people don't want to lead with that. Some people don't want to talk about that. They're trying to get to know you, or they're trying to have a productive conversation. I think that down the line, if you want to reveal what you do, that's great. If y'all, continuously talking, but I can see why a man wouldn't want to say, or a person that, period, don't really want to reveal like what they do for a living.
I think most women love to, from what I've noticed, I feel like most women love to say what they do. I think women
they want to compete with a man.
Almost bragging rights. Like they like to be like, oh yeah, I do this, I do that. Especially when they're talking to a man, I feel like they want to kind of let that be known. because it makes them feel like I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And from what I've noticed, I know way more women that love to talk about what they do for work, and almost in a braggadocious type of way.
I bet you
That man gonna be sitting on that.
No, because women believe men should accept them and like them and be attracted to their careers. No matter how many times the men have said, we don't care about your money because you're not going to spend it on us. We don't care about your degrees. We don't care about your careers. Women are really, really begging men to accept them for their careers.
I bet you they black women.
Setting themselves up just for him to sit on your PlayStation while you go work.
Because they are the only gender who's in competition with their predecessor.
I see that. I actually see, living in Atlanta, I've never seen it prior to here, but living out here, you got a lot of black women who are college educated. They love to let that be known every 5 seconds that they went to this school. They're AK, like they love to announce those things, even a lot of times when they're not even asked. To be honest,
let me shoot some bail and simp for a little bit.
Oh shit.
Nah, I'm not really simping, but I am gonna try to even this out a little bit because let me say this. This is unfair because this is not any different than any woman that's moving a certain way in all these cultures. White men is getting it worse, if not just as bad as black men. Latin chicks, fucking Asian chicks is on the internet talking the same shit. So if we gonna have to make sure that we spread this out across the board. This is not just a black thing. This is across the board with women. Women in today's culture in general, I don't care what demographic, a lot of these guys are saying that they don't even want to bring women back over here if they find them in another place. Women in general are wearing their profession on their sleeve. They are decentering men. They teaching each other how to finesse guys, all of that stuff. So I'm not saying that it's not prevalent amongst black women too, but I don't think it's limited to black women. It is happening across the board all the time.
I agree that all women these days, especially in 2026, put money at the forefront of their dating expectation from a man. But unless a man, apart from watching the videos, unless a man has had experience with those other types of races of women, most black men have experiences with black women talking about their degrees. In fact, I know some of you guys have had experiences with black women telling you that they won't date a man who doesn't have a degree. It doesn't matter whether he's an electrician, he's a plumber, he has a trade skill. They don't care. They believe if a man doesn't have a degree, he's not a good man or he's not on their level.
I don't think it has anything to do with. This is one of the situations where I don't think it has anything to do with race.
It don't matter the culture. It's none of your fucking business.
Thank you.
Like, it's none of your fucking business. Like, if we ain't on like that, get the fuck out of here. Don't ask me no personal questions like that. It's none of your fucking business. Like, man, I just don't understand why people so entitled to know everybody's everything all at once. Exactly. Like, it ain't your business. Until we into something serious, it really ain't your business. Until I'm coming to your house to pick you up, or you coming to stay where I'm at, or you coming to sit where I'm at, it doesn't fucking matter. None of that shit should matter to you. People are too invasive. This is the day and age of fucking nosy motherfuckers. You got to know everybody's fucking business. You got to know everything about everybody. Everybody a fucking detective. This shit is sick, man. Mind your fucking business sometimes and just let the good times roll. Like, this shit don't make sense.
You want to know if you can afford the good times, though.
No,
Good
so
times
see,
for
this
who?
is the problem right there. You want to know too much. Because it should like, for real, it's like it really shouldn't matter because it ain't about no fucking money. You supposed to be getting to know who I am. Yeah, not how much I
But that
make.
take
Not what's in my
money,
pocket.
though.
Well, I know it. So it's so
It
doesn't
doesn't take money to know who I am. It doesn't take money. I don't know why women do this. You don't need a man. A man shouldn't have to spend money to get to know you. Because first of all, if a man is spending money, unless you guys, you're paying to go sit somewhere and talk. But if you're doing a bunch of activities, who the person is never going to reveal who they are if you're doing different activities that you have to pay for because you're more focused on having fun.
Cost anything but time.
No, it does cost. It absolutely costs. What are you talking about?
No,
but I think we're talking about that.
Nigga,
but
my hand is up. Nigga, like, what's going on?
I'm usually with Slimmy on most situations, right? When he say, yo, we shouldn't be just giving women money for no reason and all of this stuff, I'm with Slimmy, right? So it's not like I'll be acting like Quentin sometimes. All right. I'm usually with Slimmy on the majority of these topics. But we gotta stop being so extreme because I see the niggas in the chat that absolutely hate these fucking women. Maybe not Slimmy, but it's niggas that love when we want to hold women accountable. Yeah, fuck that bitch. Don't even take her out. Nigga, y'all niggas is lying. All right. The fact of the matter is, almost everything that you do costs. Everywhere you go, everything you do, every single activity that you participate in, usually it costs.
True, but it shouldn't
like
have to.
This don't have nothing to do with being misogynistic. This don't have nothing to do with taking her shopping. We're not talking about that. We just saying it do cost.
But we were talking about why would they even
my turn to speak. No, what I wanted to speak to what Slimmy said is he kept specifically saying we need to get to know each other. Exactly. Right? And part of getting to know somewhere is what the fuck are you doing 8 hours of the day?
Facts. I was gonna say that's getting to know. When you go on a date with somebody, it's a natural thing to ask, like, oh, so what do you do? What do you? Those are it. Back in the day when you used to do like AOL chat rooms and stuff, it was like age, sex, and location. When you become an adult, you go to dinner with somebody, you go on a date. It's like, oh, well, what do you do for a living? Or what do you do? You know what I'm saying? What do you like to do for fun? Those are natural questions that you ask someone on a date when you're trying to get to know them. So I don't think it's a crazy question to ask someone what they do. I think that's a natural question to ask somebody what they do.
That's cool. I think it's reciprocal.
Yeah, it's there's nothing wrong with a woman asking a man what he does for a living. Okay, I understand. You're trying to make conversation, trying to get to know someone. But asking and okay, what do you do? When did you start that work? Do you love that work? And then you keep digging and digging and digging and digging. Yet if a man asks how many body counts you got, then you're going to be offended. Trying to find out how much money I make. Ask me what I do for a living. Do I like the work? How long? That's it. Don't try to ask me how much money I make and where do I see myself and shit like that. No, you're trying to ask to see, if I'm going to be the guy to provide for all your bills.
Okay, I think it's both. I think that, that's the part that we leaving out. You're right, Brittany. It's not just limited. Like you can also ask her what she does for a living.
Yeah,
I don't think that that's crazy.
It's not,
to ask
but
people
digging
what
deep
they
is
do
the
for a
issue.
living. I don't think that that's wild.
Yeah, I don't think it's crazy to ask. I think that with some people that have certain professions, they don't want to say it.
Well, then that's fine. Like you might have to qualify it. Listen, you might be a fucking Secret Service agent for the White House and you can't say it. Cool, whatever. But my point is that it's not abnormal to ask people what the fuck you do for a living.
I
don't think that that's crazy.
I think the women lost a lot of that, bro. Like now, and I'm not mad at them for asking what I do. But if I say I do this, then don't challenge me on it.
Exactly.
Like you got to
leave a whole nother conversation.
You got to leave it alone because it's just too much. Anton, like that's like, hey, it's like me on the first date. Hey, let me check your my chart. Put it out on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like it's dead invasive.
I don't think that anybody should be limited to asking what the fuck you want. Here's the thing.
Hold on, you asking me what I do? Okay, show me your my chart. You got it right there.
You can ask that too, but here's the thing: you don't have to say what you want that you do, and she don't have to give her my chart. Y'all can say, you know what? I don't really like you, so I'm leaving. That's beautiful. I think that more people should be upfront with what it is that they want to know, so that y'all not confused and y'all not wasting y'all time on shit that you're not gonna want to kick it with. I'm gonna be honest with you. Most niggas that get past a certain age, they not really trying to spend a whole lot of time to get to know you. They want to get to figure out who the fuck you are from the beginning, so they can know if they wasting their time dealing with you in the first place.
Yeah, but you can't know all that information on just one time, one date. And we know people lie. Because let's say a woman finds a man who has been used before, but he makes a lot of money. Let's say makes $1 million. What if he says he works at Home Depot and she leaves him because he works at Home Depot? He says he works at McDonald's, but let's say he actually owns a McDonald's, one of the locations. He ain't actually owns it, but because he said he works at McDonald's, so she's gonna leave him. Yet eventually she would have found out that he actually owns a location of McDonald's. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. Trying to find out all that information on one date is stupid. Ask the person, what do you do for work? Okay, I work at McDonald's. Do you like it? Yeah. Okay, any plans for the future? Yeah, sure, this and that. That's it. But trying to dig, how much do they pay at McDonald's? How long have you been there? Do you plan to leave McDonald's? What do you mean, do I plan to leave it if I own it? I don't have to tell you I own it. I can just tell you I work there. If I'm the owner, I still work there. But women are trying to dig and dig because it's all about the money. They're not trying to get to know the person. They're trying to get to know how much the man makes to see if they're going to use him for his money. Let's be honest. Anyway, shout out to Anton Daniels on the panel. All right, let's go somewhere else. Shout out to you guys watching. Like the video. Let me take you guys to a whole different video right now. All right. Yeah, let's do this one. Let's do another Room 9. All right. All right, here we go.
Your match yet?
Oh, never has it ever happened. I feel like I get close but the more I sit with myself, the more I realize I think I have a thing for toxic energy. So I think there's still some more healing that I need to do, because when I look back on all of these energies, it's a shame I gave them so much time and there were sweet energies that I didn't.
Yeah.
And so now I see those sweet energies getting married and starting families. I'm just like, dang, that probably could have been me if I recognized the security in those individuals at the time. And like now I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely feeling that now. I'm aware that there's something going on. There's something wrong.
What do you think it is that attracts you to like toxic energy?
I think they just seem really exciting at first. The chemistry is incredible. And they don't even always be fine. It's not even that like they're sexy or something. I mean, well, they're sexy, but they don't be the finest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's just an energy. Sometimes it's convenience, what we talk about. A lot of the sweeter energies that I felt like weren't for me. I felt I could see myself falling asleep a little bit on the phone. So I don't know if that's like, if boring is good or not. Like, I'm trying to figure out what that means. Like,
it's the thrill.
See, they call good men boring, and then they find out later that the good men are the stable ones.
Yeah.
It's the thrill of it.
Yeah.
What's
absolutely.
your sign?
Aries.
Oh, yeah. Fire
What's
sign.
yours?
I'm a Leo.
Oh,
we
you
the same
get it.
person.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Leos, yeah.
So,
shout out to Leo.
Let me get Dr. J up here. Dr. J, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. All right, so everybody good? Everybody can hear everybody?
Yes, everybody sounds good.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna lob it to Shampoo, and then we're gonna open it up to anybody popcorn style. What do y'all think about Ari Lennox saying that she's still, meaning that this is not something that's new, this is ongoing, this is something that she's choosing to be a part of. She's still attracted to toxic men. What do you think about that, Shampoo?
I think that she was honest, and most importantly, she was honest, and she's not denying. She's not denying what she likes, but she's starting to feel ashamed as she's getting older. She's starting to get ashamed of what she likes, and I would advise her to don't deny yourself happiness. If you're happy in a toxic relationship, just know how to deal in that type of relationship.
That's stupid.
You know what I'm saying? Just do what makes you happy. But she seems like she's like, I should have took the sweet guy. And the sweet guy is not going to get you wet. That she just said it just now. You know what I'm saying? She's sliding around with the toxic guy, but the other guy, she's going to fall asleep. She's dry. You know what I'm saying? So it's a toss up, and I would advise her to do what she loves to do. Makes her feel good. She earned it.
I mean, it's a good thing nice guys are waking up, because most men, in my opinion, are nice guys, good guys, just regular average men. They don't hurt nobody. They just go to work, come back home, hang out with their friends, buy flowers, take women on dates, get used for free dinner dates. Those are the types of guys. They don't have the thrill. They're not toxic the way women like it. But nice guys are waking up. They're saying, oh, so your women in your younger years mess with the bad boys, the ones who turn you on, the ones who make you wet, like Shampoo is saying. And then when you hit 35, for some reason, it's always they hit 30s and then they want the nice guys again. But then the nice guys are saying, oh, now when you hit 35, after you're done being with the bad boys, now you want us? And nice guys are saying, no mas.
A successful woman, she can take care of a dude.
Let me go to Dalen. And then Dalen, what do you think about Ari Lennox? And give us some honesty, Dalen. What do you think about Ari Lennox saying that she's still attracted to toxic guys?
I'm gonna be honest with you, because I spoke about this on another show a few days ago. I think, just like what Shampoo said, it's good that you can acknowledge that and say it out loud and own it. But I also think that it is okay to say, hey, I've been choosing this thing for so long and it's left me empty. And now that I know better, I want to apply better. So I think that as long as you are self-aware and know who you are and know your mistakes and know where you want to be in life, you have to address the problem, figure out a solution, and apply it. And I think that's what she's trying to do. I don't think that.
So you're saying she should deny herself, like don't be happy, just be. You know what I'm saying?
Think that sometimes women confuse like lust with love, and the whole wanting toxic things, especially in relationships. It's like that emotional intensity in the beginning that people are attracted to, and they don't. It's like you get that fast dopamine and that rush in those type of situations, but it leaves you with nothing. So as you get older, you want more in life. You want more stability. Wow. So now she's coming to that realization that, hey, fun time is over, playtime is over. It's time.
So she has to force herself to be with somebody that's not going to make her happy. That's what you're saying.
Why are you happy being in toxic relationships? Nobody.
No, she said she is. I didn't say
that. You're not in a toxic relationship. You're just complacent and you're comfortable until you get uncomfortable when you realize, whoa, this is not where I can be stationary. This is not where I can find stability. I need to find out what my problem is so I can want better for my life and my relationship. So I think she's always.
What do you think the problem is?
I think the problem is giving into quick rushes of satisfaction, quick to jump in bed with people, quick to feel like you have something with someone before you actually take the time to build it and apply the necessary things that you need to have a solid relationship. I don't know. It's just poor decision making, because we know us girls like to make decisions that benefit us, even when they're not good decisions, because it feels good.
Oh, we know that.
Let me back up for a minute.
Honestly, I don't have an issue with women, figuring out that, hey, listen, you know what? I take that back. I was gonna give women a benefit of a doubt, but I take it back. You know why? Because they don't give men a benefit of a doubt. So because women know what they're doing when they're doing it. So them realizing at 35, at 45, usually after 30, that, hey, I was messing with bad boys, now I want nice guys. They knew what they were doing back then, because there was a difference between the good guy, the nerd, the boring guy. Even they call them boring for a reason. Oh, he's a good guy, but he's boring. They knew he was the good guy, but they chose the toxic guy because that's what they wanted. So you know what? I'm not giving them a benefit of a doubt. They knew what type of bed they were laying in, they were making, and they laid in it, and that's it. So as long as they don't try to force nice guys at 35 to want them, yeah, you can, try to say, oh my God, they are holding each other accountable. They're holding themselves accountable. Sure. But now nice guys don't have to deal with them.
Trinity, everybody mute up if y'all can. Because sometimes it provides feedback and it prevents the person from being able to be heard. Serenity, one of the things that she said was when she talks to guys that's not toxic, she fall asleep on the phone. They boring, and it's just not a thing. What do you think about that?
Maybe it's a compatibility thing. I think sometimes one person's interests are simply just not another person's interests, right? So I can give personal examples. I'm dating a person and they like anime, for example. I can't have any conversations beyond Pokemon. So it could simply be that, or it could be where the individuals are in their lives, right? It depending on, there's so many different factors like age or career or passions or hobbies. I honestly think if you're truly interested in a person, usually you're wanting to know more about them. So you're going to be asking more in-depth questions about the faith that they practice or the things that they're passionate about. And so I think it's just simply a lack of depth and then also a lack of compatibility. And she's admitted she's been picking the wrong guys. So not just acting quickly when it comes to sexual activities, but also failing to ask those necessary questions or those important questions to get to know someone. I'm sure we've probably all been on dates where you're sitting across from your counterpart and they're failing to ask the important questions sometimes. And that's where the boredom begins, because now it's almost like a disconnect. You're speaking Chinese and I'm speaking patois, and now we don't understand each other and I'm bored.
All right, so we gonna give me a second, y'all. So we're gonna go throwback a couple weeks ago. We're gonna be going full screen sometimes when people are having extended conversations, so that everybody can focus on the thing that the person is saying. Serenity, let me ask you a follow-up question. When you say that you talking to a person that is into anime and you can't speak beyond Pokemon, right? Mm-hmm. Is that something that you're forcing yourself to have to accept, or is that something that you feel as though like it's just natural? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you dealing with somebody, obviously, that their interests is completely different than what your interests are. Is that a sacrifice for you, or is that something that you just naturally adapt to?
I think it's more of an adaptation. I don't think it's necessarily a sacrifice. I think a sacrifice is you doing something that you can't come back from. For example, like a woman sacrifices her body to have a baby for a man. So I think it's, if you're truly interested in a person.
No, she doesn't sacrifice her body to have a baby for a man. She's having a baby because she wants to have the baby. Otherwise, she wouldn't get pregnant. That's taking away accountability from a woman making her own choice to get pregnant, but also to keep the baby to full term. She's not sacrificing anything. She chose to do that.
Person, then that's where those in-depth questions come in. Like, hey, you know what? I don't know too much about anime, but teach me. And let's start with how you got into anime, why you're so passionate about it. And those types of in-depth questions show interest. And then sometimes that sparks and builds compatibility, because sometimes it's not an instant connection. Sometimes it's something that has to be built upon. And that's my opinion.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I think also people focus too much on having the same types of interests. And for the most part, I think women do this all the time. For example, a man may find a woman, if she looks good and she doesn't like soccer, she doesn't like football, she doesn't like basketball, and the things she likes, he doesn't like, most men will be okay with it. But for some reason, women expect to find a man who likes everything she likes. And if he doesn't like 9 out of 10 things she likes, it's an issue. You feel me? So I think for me, it should be the foundational values rather than your interests. If you share the similar values, I think that people could work together. But women want a perfect man, and women want a man who's almost like their girlfriend.
Destiny, thoughts?
I will say it's kind of funny because she was one of the ones that kind of rejected what Kevin Samuel said. She even name dropped him in a song before. And I really like Ari Lennox as an artist. Like I like her music. But I think essentially what it is, they're toxic. That's why they like, I mean, you are what you attract in some, senses. So they don't know what type of conversations to have with somebody who's not toxic. You know what I'm saying? Because me personally, like, if I'm interested in somebody, like, I can't stop talking. Like, I got questions upon questions. Like, what do you mean you falling asleep? Like, I feel like as women, we're very social beings, so we should be able to hold a conversation, even if the man can't. Sometimes you have to pull certain things out of men because they don't feel comfortable, especially if you're a stranger to them, I just think maybe she's in a spot, she's not willing to not be toxic, or she probably don't even know what a good men are, like, what that looks like, what they be. I personally think any person that you would be interested in would be the places that you would like to go. So whether that's going to the library or, like just little stuff like that. Like you like to go yoga class, like, I don't know. Well, no, ain't no men doing yoga, but I don't know. It's just,
yeah, but when y'all say the wrong man, like she's picking the wrong man, but it's not the wrong man for her. You said the wrong man for you, but for her, it's the right man.
I agree, and that's why I'm saying I'm not going to give women a benefit of a doubt, because sometimes we say women pick the wrong man, but in actuality, women are picking the man they want for that moment. For that moment, to them, that's the right man. Even if they know there's a better man, they will leave the better man for whatever reason to choose the man who's going to whip their ass. So I stopped giving women a benefit of it when we talk about, oh, these women are picking the wrong man, that they're walking, that they're not choosing the nice guy, the good man. No, they're choosing the other bad boy for whatever reason. They're choosing that type of man at that moment. They're choosing the right man for them at that moment. Now, if later they come on and they say they want the nice guys don't have to take them up.
About it.
I know. That's why I don't understand that, because people are getting in her head to say that she should complain about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's her friends and, like, you know what I'm saying? You got to
But she has always, I don't know if anybody on the panel the women that like really like stay in tune with her, but she used to be one of the celebrities that always went live, always talked about her personal relationships with men. Mm-hmm. I mean, it could be a sense, maybe she don't respect men, maybe she only want to get what she can out of the men and she send them on her way. Like, and that's fine. If you want to be that type of woman and you want to deal with men, you want to deal with them. Yeah. Right. Like, but see, they don't, like Kevin Sam said, by the time you hit that limit, now you want somebody to settle down with, which ain't nothing wrong with it. But don't put it on the other person. Put it on yourself. Take some accountability. Oh, which she did. But
yes, she did.
I mean, okay. That's why I said stability is boring to some people. So maybe you're not worthy of it. I'm sorry. It's okay. Have your fun.
I don't know how people get bored. Like
I don't get, babe.
People that get bored don't have nothing in their head. They're just empty-headed.
Yeah.
Let me ask Shaniva. What do you think about this whole situation? And here's a bigger question. Do you think that a lot of women are attracted to toxic men because they toxic themselves? Or do you think that it's just the fact that good girls like bad boys?
I think it's the fact that good girls like bad boys for sure, because a lot of females are kind of like attracted to, like, I'm not going to say all, but like majority of females are kind of attracted to the same type of guy. It's like a lot of girls like the bad guy, you know? So the toxic guy is probably Ari's type. You know, that's what she likes, you know? And she's the type of female that probably will be with a safe guy or somebody that's going to treat her good and still probably cheat on him because she's boring. He's boring, or like he doesn't do the same things that the toxic guy used to do, you know? So I think it's a matter of like, yeah, females definitely like, you know, a certain type of guy, like the bad guy or whatever that may look like, you know, and that's just it. But certain females can't deal with what comes with the bad guy, because it may come with certain things like cheating. And you know, women, we just don't like cheating. Cheating is
right hooks.
Like
right hooks.
Women hold cheating. Women hold cheating as the number one priority in a relationship. Forget everything that you built. Forget the kids. Forget how many years y'all spent together. If you cheat, we're done. So it's like,
I don't know about that.
I disagree as well. I think women hold providing as the number one thing in a relationship rather than cheating. That's why women will stay with a rich man who provides, who cheats, rather than with a man, with an average man who's loyal, never cheats, but can't provide the lifestyle she wants.
Watch Maury and them that backstage, they always get back with the dude.
well,
That's
you know,
if they heavy.
if
If
you
they
crazy in love, yeah. If you crazy in love,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Ari,
They got women in the hospital on life support, and the guy that put him in there come visit them.
Fact.
I think cheating is a
Ari
fad
did
that women like to
mention
hang on.
you that
True. And she'd be
Ari-
happy to see him. It's crazy. Love is crazy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah.
Okay. I can remember Ari mentioned that she's been able to become so self-aware that she knows something is missing, right? Life comes at you. Being in the numbers world, the world of numbers, I think statistics show it's not just loyalty that damages or keeps relationships together. It's also finances that and breaks relationships apart.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And the family and the dynamic that comes with the in-laws, things like that. But Ari mentioned in the interview specifically, she said, I think something's missing. She looked around, life came at her fast. She's built this big career. She's seeing all around her get married and have children. And she said,
getting old.
Wrong. Because something. So then that leads us to the next question. When it comes to the work that you do within yourselves, how can we really be partners to anyone if we have not done the self-work to identify the things that we need to heal and change to show up in a full capacity for another person? So there's something there that maybe she needs to work on and see a therapist about, but it's not always the other person and she just likes toxic men. Sometimes it's just now she's self-aware because life just hit her fast and she needs to do more work.
Tamara, and then I want the fellas to jump in this. Tamara, do you think that therapy works?
I think that it does. I've been to therapy before when I was in college. I think it was a great investment.
I disagree. What therapy doesn't work for most women. If therapy worked, women wouldn't be in therapy for 10 straight years. That's number one. If therapy really worked, women wouldn't be talking about the same trauma and talking about signs and talk about how they always run into the wrong men. But all the women, for some reason, therapy, I think the therapy industry is still going strong because women never get out of therapy. It's not different from these people who talk about they work out, but they look the same year after year. But that's because most therapists are women and they don't hold other women accountable. So therapy for sure doesn't work. For the people who claim to be going to therapy, they always talk about trauma and how they're still working on themselves year after year.
What about when it comes to these type of situations, like women that are attracted to toxic men? Because I know that therapy can be applied in a lot of different ways, right? And so when you think about this woman saying that she's still attracted, meaning that she's identified that she has a problem with attracting and being attracted to people that are not good for her. Do you think that therapy is something that could help her, or is it something else that she has to get herself, together with that'll ultimately get her out of this space?
Okay, before I answer that question, I have to make it clear that I'm glad that she's saying the quiet part out loud so that good men can dodge a bullet. Because I mean, the truth is that this lady is not ready for a healthy relationship. And I'm just glad she's letting everybody know that, because I'm tired of good men going through situations like this where they're being mistreated, or they're dealing with someone like her and then they're scarred and don't want to be with a good woman. So I just want to say that first. And as far as will therapy work for her, it will work if she works it. You know what I mean? Like, if she's open to getting the help, then maybe it will work for her. Seems to me like this may be a maturity issue. And, a therapist can only do so much. A therapist is not God. And a lot of people, overuse therapy. You can go, they can give you some tips and things like that. But at the end of the day, you have to grow up and become adults.
I agree.
Adults don't act like children and, go based off of fun and instant gratification. So I don't know. It may work for her, it may not, if she's open to it. It just really depends on her and what her goals are. If she's just wanting to go to a therapist just to talk to somebody and, for somebody to hear her out or validate her, which a lot of women therapists especially do, then
literally that's what I say. Shout out to Tamara. And I haven't even watched this full video. I'm reacting to this in real time. That's what I told you. Most women go to therapy because they want somebody to talk to validate their feelings. And therapists also want to make money. So what do? They know if they try to hold the woman accountable and give her steps and a plan to change who they are, the women won't come back. We're going to be honest. So what do most therapists do? They'll just pay me and I'll listen to you talk your bullshit. And the issue is most women go to female therapists or to women therapists, but those women therapists are also going through the same shit these women are going through. So guess what? They trauma bond. Let's say they talk about relationships. Yes, it's not you, it's the man, because the female therapist is going through the same shit. So they're going to trauma bond, trauma dump, and it's going to be a happy relationship that's going to last forever and ever. And you find out the woman has been in therapy for 15 years and nothing has changed.
Therapy is not going to work if she goes to therapy. Now, if she goes and she sees a man therapist, which is what Kevin Samuels recommended, which is what I did, just to, talk, get some life tips and things like that and become a better person, a man therapist may tell her the truth. But it sounds like she may not be even open to the truth, because she's dating these toxic men for a reason. And they're probably telling her what she wants to hear, if we really think about it.
Facts.
So, I mean, I don't know her personally. This is my first time hearing of this young lady, but that's my take.
That's what's up. Fellas, what are y'all thoughts? Y'all heard all of the ladies. Wanted to give them the opportunity to be able to say their piece and give their perspective. And ladies, feel free to jump back in. But fellas, what are y'all thoughts?
So for me, I don't think nobody addressed the elephant in the room. I remember reading about Ari's relationship with her father. He was estranged, abandonment issues, all of this childhood trauma, to the point the young lady just made is that I think she does need to seek some type of therapy to kind of get over that. To me, whenever girls have these toxic relationships over and over and over again, the root cause is that relationship with your father. Being a girl dad myself, I pride myself on, being an example to my daughter. My daughter just got married at 23 years old, way too young for me. But the young man that she picked, he's a solid guy so far. He hadn't disappointed me. He's saying all the right things. He's doing all the right things. So
hold on, let me ask you a follow-up question, big dog. You said 23 is way too young for you and shout out to you for being a phenomenal father. Shout out to you for also giving props and obviously playing a role in helping her vet through the person that she's supposed to be with, right?
Yeah, that's good.
But you said that 23 was really way too young, in your opinion, for her to get married. Why do you say that?
It was. I had the mindset that everybody else would have. You know, when it first got brought to me, was that, you know, you need to have time to kind of like learn yourself and all those different things. But wiser people kind of set me down and kind of brought it back to reality for me. That, you know, at the end of the day, would you rather have your daughter out here getting pregnant by somebody and having multiple baby fathers, or having a baby father, period, or do you want her with a husband? And
That's true. The whole thing, when people talk about, and it's usually women who are saying, you know, because when a woman says, I'm too young to get married, I need to learn who I am, it's different from a man saying it, because usually men say they don't want to get married too young because it's usually about the money. So usually about the finances, if we're going to be honest. So both men and women don't want to get married too young for completely different reasons, in my opinion. But when women say, I don't want to get married too young, I want to be out here in the streets and do my own thing, that's really what it means. You know, pack on a lot of bodies, and then the future husband is going to have to deal with all the trauma, and then the therapy is going to come into place as well.
And I mean, hands down, I'm absolutely satisfied with the decision that she made.
Why did you think it was too young though? That's the part that I'm trying to understand.
Just knowing, I guess, you know, your kids,
That's
you know,
his babies.
you know,
baby girl.
and it was more than anything. Is like I want her to be able to kind of just find, I guess, all the things.
Let me rephrase the question for you.
Yeah.
What is the age, the ideal age that you know, prior to her getting married, that you would have chosen as far as her getting married?
I don't think it has an age per se. It's just a level of preparation that I felt like she needed to have. You know, just as being a wife, you know, like my relationship with my daughter is a little different. Like her coming up, she grew up like I raised my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I raised her like I got custody of her when she was like 10 years old. So like going into womanhood, it was me and my wife that kind of helped her get along, but come along into womanhood. But I felt like she still needed a little more time under our tutelage to kind of prepare for to be a wife, you know. But she made the decision, and I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm seeing like they got married in December. They moved out of state, you know, and it's kind of like he in the military. So I'm in the military too. So it was kind of like I understood it, you know, but it was just hard, man. I think it was just me that wanted to let go, you know. More than
So to take off your daughter, what's like?
I mean, but shout out to him, man. I think most fathers should do the same thing. Most fathers should be involved in their daughters' selection of husbands, if we're going to be honest, and their sons' selection of women, because the father usually has more experience with women, so he can tell that the sons, hey, listen, don't choose this type of woman, don't choose this type of woman, because the issue we have with men these days and women, we are choosing our own partners. We are choosing our own partners, and also going off the information we saw our parents doing. So if a man or woman grew up with a single mom and saw her dealing with multiple partners, the kids are also going to do the same shit. But anyway, shout out to Anton Daniels and Room 9. Let's go to the next video. Let's see, what do I have for you guys next? All right. You did that. All right, let's do this. Guys, like that video. I appreciate you guys for being here. All right, let's go. I appreciate you guys for being here with me, man. It's a nice Friday. We gotta cook.
We're talking about submission, right? You know, you got the alpha male and everything like that. He presents he will intensify his alpha aura, and all others are going to submit.
Question?
Right. So what I'm saying is, when we talk about submit, are you talking about randoms or are you talking about your actual mate?
What you think, Coco? Krishana, Tex, Aaliyah, what y'all think?
I'm talking about
your husband. Your husband. Who else should you submit to outside of him?
Well,
Coco,
clarifying question.
Yes.
The question is answered by who you expect protection from.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an expectation of men, then what do you give in return? Hence to Nas' question. Go ahead, Coco. Go ahead, Coco. My bad.
Is she thinking?
No, I would say that a man. I'm sorry.
I gotta edit.
I would say that the only person.
You got a delay.
A man should only spend his wallet on his wife or provide for his wife, and a woman should only submit to her husband.
No. Because if we're talking about protection from men in general, if I am being attacked by a man, then I expect a man to come in and protect me, because I'm not going to be with my mate 24/7, 365. So because I expect protection from that random, okay, from a random that sees what's going on, do I submit to that random?
But you don't operate from the mind frame of submitting to men just because they're men, period. So like if you come encounter with like a random, like, and like I don't know what type of situation you will be in where you would have to submit to a random person. But like if you're in that situation, or like if you're in a situation with a man and you need to submit to him, you don't operate in that mind frame. So you wouldn't, like you said, you wouldn't submit to a random man wouldn't protect you because you wouldn't submit to a random man.
No, the level of submission would be different, of course, because one is an intimate relationship and another is a random, right? So I would give, what's the word that we've been using for the last couple of months? Deference to a random, because I would expect protection from a random. You see what I'm saying?
Why would you expect protection from a random though? If you wouldn't even submit to a random, like you wouldn't, what would you give to that random for that protection? Like what would you do for that?
They want free protection.
Exactly my point.
I'm asking you.
That's exactly my point. No, that's exactly my point. How would I submit to a random for that protection from a random that I would expect? I would expect a random to protect me from another nigga.
Why?
Because I'm being attacked as a weaker vessel.
Can you be?
Why? He has nothing to do with you. If he sees you in the street fighting with a man, maybe you started it. He has nothing to do with it. So you want him to lose his life because you're a woman and he's supposed to protect you? What does he get in return? If he's broke, are you going to send him $100 because he's a stranger? Are you going to go to a random man's house, cook him a meal because you're trying to be submissive? No.
Okay,
so how would I go ahead and how would I submit to that random?
Let me help clarify.
Go ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
So let me help clarify, right? So can't protect what you can't correct, right? If I go, let's say I walked into a place, right? And my wife was like going back and forth with some dude or some shit, right? I would interject, but I say, yo, sit down and shut the fuck up. And then I would handle the situation accordingly, right? Can you take that type of correction in a situation in which you need protection? I don't know. If I walked in and Sai going back and forth with some nigga, I'm like, yo, Sai, sit down and shut the fuck up. I'm not so sure.
You're talking about from a random,
now
not so much from it.
I gotta deal with everybody, right? The nigga and her. That's I don't know. Callie,
Yeah,
I say, yo, Callie, sit down and shut the fuck up.
That's why I asked the question. Are we talking about?
I'm going. I think I got a little bit better chance with Callie. If I walk in, I say, yo, Lex, sit down and shut the fuck up. I think I got the best chance with Lex.
Y'all, this shit.
No, just saying, just I'm just giving an honest assessment, right? Because that's the correction that you got to give, right? When these are tough situations, right? You see, right? If I walk in and see something that I'm like, what the hell is this? You got to be harsh. You got to be heavy-handed because it's a heavy-handed situation. You see, I don't have time to be, oh, just chill. Especially if I also recognize a threat of violence, you see, so what level of correction? How can this happen? Like, what does it look like?
That's why I was asking the question, are we talking about someone that you're in a relationship with, or are we talking about randoms that we should be, submit to? Because they're men.
Can you take correction? Can you take correction from a random man? Like, can you just take, like, if a man was to suggest something to you, like a random man was to say something to you or give you a suggestion, would you take that? Would you be receptive to that type of information? How would you react to that? How would you respond?
She wouldn't. They barely want to smile to men. So a man is supposed to protect a random woman on the street. But if a man tries to smile and say hi to a woman, she won't even answer. Like, those two don't go together. Why should a random man just protect a random woman because she's a woman? What does it get in return? Because let's be honest, guys. Human beings, it's all about relationships. And what a relationship all is I give something, I get something in return. That's what a relationship is. Otherwise, it's slavery.
Oh, yeah. I don't have a nigga mind. I don't have no nigga mind. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would be susceptible to that damn correction because I don't have no nigga mind.
So maybe can you give a scenario? Because I'm confused about being having submission to a random man. I'm confused with that at all because typically submission is relational. Typically submission is over the course of a period. You're going to be in contact with this person, and this person is going to lead you. So I don't see a situation where over a amount of time that a random person is just going to lead you and you're going to be following a random person's direction.
If you are in public, right, and some random is coming at you in some kind of, disrespectful way or whatever, and you don't feel like you should submit to that. I'm sorry. I'm trying to PC it, but fuck that. If you don't feel like you should be submitting to that nigga because that nigga is disrespecting you, right? If another random nigga was like, hey, chill, you know what I'm saying? Because he would be able to recognize some shit in that nigga mind that you can't relate to because you ain't no nigga. That would be an instance where you would submit to that random nigga. Because that random nigga recognizes some shit that you don't.
Mm-hmm. Or give
respect, some shit that you don't.
Or give respect. The example that Hemp gave, if I didn't know him and he did that because her same situation, and me looking at Hemp and me knowing that I probably ain't gonna be able to do shit to this dude, and him say, "Oh, shut the fuck up." I'm gonna go over there and shut the fuck up because he probably in the face and correcting that other nigga. So that respect that I have, that he is taking that initiative to protect me as a random as well, yes, I'm gonna give that respect and not say anything else and back away.
I'm
Have you
sorry.
guys
So
ever-
the example though, you knew Hamp. Hamp is
No,
giving
I
an
just said
example.
if I
No, he just said that she didn't know
She
him.
didn't know him.
Hamp is a random too.
yeah, he's a random, I'm a random. I mean,
So then
have
why
y'all ever
would
had
you?
situations? So hold on. So what, Coco? So you never been in a situation where another man had to protect you? You've never at all?
This is how. Let me explain. This is how.
This is crazy. That entitlement, and I think this ties into the same entitlement of a man providing for women. It's the same entitlement. So they believe a random man should protect them. A man on the street, a man who doesn't know nothing about them. Guess what? The same way they believe a random man should protect them, they believe a random man should provide for them because they're a woman. But in that same case, they don't have the same expectation or something they're going to give a man. In other words, as a man, I can't say a random woman should come to my place and cook for me. I can't be walking on the street and say a random woman should. What can a random woman do for a man, to be honest? Because she can't protect me. She can't give me money. So what would be the equivalent? What's the equivalent of a random woman, a random man protecting a random woman? What's the equivalent a woman is supposed to do for a man? I don't know if it's there. So it's almost like men are just put here to die and protect, to die for random women.
How it actually manifests, right? If a man ever interjected in these situations, right? From personal experience, you could tell, right, that the nigga is getting there, right? We can see it, you know, and you're like, yo, Sean, right? And he it may not be an argument, but you could tell, like, yo, right, when niggas start huffing, I swear to God, you know, all that shit, right? You intervene, yo, it ain't worth it, right? All this shit still happening. Yo, shut the fuck up, right? Because she don't see no threat of violence, right? We always have that disparity. So you're like, yo, shut the fuck, because you're really saying, yo, sit down and shut the fuck up before he slap the shit out you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And now with him, you could probably put your hand on his chest, feel me? Yo, you don't gotta go to jail, the shit like, right? You might say some de-escalating shit, you know? Right? But her, you gotta shut up first. So this nigga could see me as another imposing figure and see me stepping in the way it is so we can de-escalate it. You see? But if she take me being in the middle as a barrier to be like, you know, when niggas don't want to fight, but then somebody break them up, now they want to fight. If she use me as that ain't gonna help. You see? So she gotta be quiet so I can really get this nigga to, yo, get the fuck out of here, whatever the case is. You see? If she's still yelling over my back, yeah, bitch ass nigga, you know what I mean? So that can't happen. But this is a real situation. What I'm describing is actual.
Yeah.
You see? That's why I say, yo, shut up, nigga. Before he end up, you know what I mean? Now I really got to tussle with this nigga. You know?
A lot of women wouldn't even be receptive to shut up. Women aren't even receptive to shut up. So
they're gonna tell the man, shut up, you shut up. We've seen these videos all the time, literally. They go toe to toe with men in the streets on social media.
Shut the fuck up. Like women wouldn't shut the fuck up just because you say shut the fuck up. Like they're not gonna do that. Because they'll say, oh, you don't have to say it like that. You could say it like, oh, be quiet, just sit down real quick for me, real quick. They're not receptive to like real assertive, real aggression, real shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. Like women.
And Aaliyah, I'm glad you made that point, right? That I'm glad you made that point, right, Callie? Because think about this, right? If a car's come, I'm saying get out the fucking way. If they shoot, I'm saying duck the fuck down, right? If this nigga about to punch you in your face, shut the fuck up. It's all the same, right? But you don't even see that man as that level, right? You like, but when you think about these situations, and this is real from personal experience, right? But when a car coming, a bullets is flying, the F word is okay. Now when a nigga about to knock your head in the next week, now you take exception. That's where we draw the line.
Mm-hmm.
You see, but like we don't recognize the threats, right?
I will say,
yeah, because they're gonna be aggressive back. I'm gonna be honest. The only time a woman is gonna listen to a man is if he gets his credit card out and he's swiping. She's going to listen. The moment the credit card goes back in the wallet, then she's gonna stop yapping. You can't tell me what to do. If the credit card comes out, then she will shut up for the minute. If it goes back in, then she'll go back to the default settings. So to me, women only respect money. But if the money goes away, they're gonna go back to default settings, which is trying to be like men and being aggressive. You know, what do you guys think? Everybody, shout out to you guys for watching. Shout out to DJ Hamp and This Might Be Risky. Shout out to you guys for joining me this morning. Till next time, like, subscribe. Shout out to Miss Mariam and everybody who was in the chat. I see Intelligent. I saw, who else did I see in the chat? I saw Alex. I saw somebody else. William, shout out to you. I saw Jesus is God. Shout out to you. I saw T. Lamar. I appreciate the support, man. All right. As always, it's your boy Boogie. Peace.